All right, y'all. This is He Knows the Sport, bringing you that heat and that fire. We keeping the foot on the what? On the next. We keeping the foot on the what? On the next. Before we get started with the live stream, as you guys know in the community post, every day, man, like we do with everything, like we do with the videos and all that, we keeps the foot on the what? On the next. We keeps the foot on the what? On the next. The merchandise is in the building, so y'all make sure, man, y'all hit up the community post each and every single day. I'm gonna upload a different piece of the merchandise for you guys to go and check out. So make sure y'all check out Hinos the Sports shop page. Check it out. Make sure y'all cop y'all one. If you got a partner, you know what I'm saying? It's 2020, whatever your partner is. If it's, you know what I'm saying, your girl, your guy, whomever, cop them one as well, too. You know what I'm saying? Cop your family members one and make sure y'all get 50 of them damn things. Now, on to the salutations. Let's get them out of the way. Jacob Lonewolf, let's start out with you, brother. How you doing today, man?
I'm doing well. This is your boy Jacob Lonewolf, live here in Melbourne. And like I always say, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night to anyone wherever part of the world you're at. And today I'm very excited. About the topics that we're going to talk about. I'm curious to see what Richie Rich is going to talk about. I'm always, curious to, hear what you always have to say, Richie Rich, and you know, as well as so definitely, I think that with the NBA coming back, on the 31st of July and the 22 team, just like the NBA only allowing 22 teams to just come back. I think this is a great topic for all of us to talk about, and hey, I'm excited.
That's what's up. All right. Salute Lamar Newman, man. That boy right there. He always dropped those napalms. He was actually right. I have to give him credit. He was right. You know, his last prediction held true. He was a prediction king strikes again. You know what I'm saying? He had Richie Rich second guess in that prediction, but then it came to be true. So we can't forget Lamar Newman, man. That guy right there is a fellow prediction kingster right there. You know what I'm saying? So salute to him, man.
You talking about
Anyways,
when we were watching the game,
yeah, when we were
the
watching the game,
Lakers and the Clippers game? Oh yeah, I remember
the
him.
Clippers game, he predicted that thing to the T, dog. So we got to give him credit. Got to give credit what credit's due. I got 6 people watching, 3 thumbs up, man. Y'all hit the thumbs up, man. Hit the thumbs up and show the platform support. Richie Rich, talk to them, man.
And shout outs to He Knows. Shout outs to Jacob Longworth, way out from Melbourne, man. Shout outs to you guys that's coming along in the chat room. We got some great topics to talk about. It's gonna be engaging, man. So let's get to it.
All right, all right. Hey, like my boy Tom Ross say, what do you always say? All right, all right. Now let's get on to it, man. Let's get on to the topic. All right, first one, topic at hand. The dupery of LBJ Riders Media and them wanting the Los Angeles Lakers to specifically win the NBA title. Now, I know Jacob Lone Wolf has a lot to unpack, but Richie Rich, I want you to start off with this one, man.
Well, you know what the media is trying to do. Uh, there's a lot to say. There's a lot riding on what LeBron James is trying to do here. You know what I'm saying? And they've used a lot of stuff they shouldn't have used uh, for his coronation. Obviously LeBron's playing on a storied franchise team. Los Angeles Lakers. This team. Uh, they're about winning championships. Uh, they have a long list of legends that have played for their organization that have brought championships. You could think of them out by the drop of a hat. Kobe Bryant, that's one. Magic Johnson,
Mm-hmm.
Shaquille O'Neal, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. You could throw Shaq in there. You can even throw Wilt Chamberlain in there. You want at least a championship or two for that organization. But it's a lot of legends, and LeBron James knows if he wins a championship by perception wise, he's going to there. The media is going to try to throw him, uh, try to create, like a false a status to where he's supposed to be in Laker lore. he's supposed to be one of the greatest of all times, or that's gonna be a way for to measure him to
All right. Well, he just went ahead and cut off. Jacob Lonewolf, go ahead, man. Do your thing, man. All right, hold on.
yeah.
Okay,
Sorry about that, man.
go ahead.
Yeah, these spam calls, man, are crazy nowadays. Sorry about that. Yeah, yeah. LeBron James' place and legend, man, it's gonna be heightened with him bringing a championship to the Los Angeles Lakers, and they're
Mhm.
trying to use every thing that they can use. They've been using Kobe Bryant's passing. Rest in peace to Kobe. Try to
Mhm.
put a fuel to the fire, meaning saying that he has to win a championship for Kobe Bryant, which is unnecessary, man. Like that shouldn't have nothing to do with basketball. The man passed away, and just leave it at that. Let that his family and his close ones grieve. Don't include that in basketball because those are two separate things. He's not coming back.
You cut off.
The people that also died. You can hear me?
You have to rewind what you just said. You cut off for a little bit.
Am I coming in?
You're coming in now.
Okay. You can hear me now?
Yep.
All right, cool. Uh, Kobe's not coming back, man. His daughter is not coming back. The people who passed away on that helicopter as well are not coming back. Let's leave it for what it is. Let's not include it in basketball discussions. LeBron James, if he's gonna win, he has to win a title on his back. He has to win a title leading this Laker team. You know, and the media is trying to, they're trying to come up with so many scenarios or storylines for LeBron James to, if he wins this championship. There's also other stuff going on. If he wins a title for the Lakers, he's going to be the first player in NBA history to win a title for three different organizations, meaning that it's going to be another milestone for him. So they're going to try to catapult him to MJ status, the GOAT status. Which is another false narrative. The media keeps coming with these narratives for LeBron James, but it doesn't make sense. When you look at the guy's win-loss column, last I checked, he was 3 for 6. He's a guy who's needed to form super teams to win championships. What happened the year prior when he was playing in Los Angeles with those young bucks?
Mhm.
Lonzo Ball, Brandon Ingram, Josh Hart. He couldn't do anything with that team. He
Mhm.
came back. He said he was in playoff mode, but yet he was losing to the New York Knicks. He was losing games that he should have won to get them back into the postseason picture. But now that he has Anthony Davis, now that he has solid vets on the team, Avery Bradley, Dwight Howard, Danny Green, now things are looking peachy. He's managed to get this team at the number 1 seed in the Western Conference. They're number 2 in standings throughout the whole NBA. But so the hype is real. But we all know LeBron. He's what like how Skip Bayless says. He's a front runner. He's a guy. He likes being in that front runner position. He's not a guy that likes to be playing from behind. He came from behind in that series against against the Golden State Warriors, where he was down 3-1. But things have to happen for him. He has to, a lot of luck and certain circumstances has to happen
Not
for him.
to interject, but did he come behind, or was it Kyrie Irving that did the heavyweight lifting?
Kyrie Irving did the heavyweight lifting.
Okay.
As well. They both put up big numbers. Yeah, if Kyrie Irving don't play like that, they don't win. So
Okay.
Kyrie Irving deserves respect. He deserves to be talked about, but the media is not going to focus on him because LeBron James had all the crazy stats. He led every statistical category in those finals. So they're going to put his name in front. Obviously he knows what he was trying to do in that scenario. If he played like that and he showed that he was the main statistical getter on the team, he was going to be talked about, in that regard. You know what I'm saying? Whether Kyrie's name was not mentioned or not, he didn't care. But that's another story. LeBron James, another moment he's come back from behind was when they played against the Celtics. When the Celtics had those boys 3-2, and LeBron James had that, crazy game 6 that he needed to have, because at that point in 2011, we all know about, him having the meltdown against the Dallas Mavericks. And the year after that, this man had to win a championship, because if he didn't win, NBA probably would have moved on from him, because you can't have 2 years straight where you're on a super team. First team, you choke. You have an epic choke job against the Dallas Mavericks, and where you're a favorite, but yet you play like that. Like you forgot to play, like you just were a deer in headlights. You just forgot, like you that basketball even existed. Like your game was like how can I say, the Michael Jordan's movie Space Jam, when when the monsters, they stripped all the stars' powers, Charles Barkley, Patrick Ewing. It was like LeBron James forgot how to play basketball, and it showed in that series, because it looked. I don't know if he was trying to hold back, because he knew Dwayne Wade would have got the Finals MVP if they won that series, and it would have looked like he was along for the ride, and his legacy wouldn't be as big if he wasn't the guy that won the MVP, or it was just him playing scared out there. They got into his head mentally, and he froze, and he couldn't play at the level that we expected out of him. But the year after that, he was able to beat OKC, Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, and Harden at the time, and he had to beat the Celtics. The Boston Celtics were up on the Heat, but they had a chance to knock him out, but LeBron had that amazing game 6, and he was able to overcome them and beat them, and then he won that first title against OKC. That's a moment he was in a tough spot, and he had to come out of. But when we look at this guy's career, it's not many moments of where he's come back from behind. So, we're right back at it again with the Los Angeles Lakers. His first year with the Los Angeles Lakers, he didn't go to the playoffs. Now, this year, he has AD. He was able to collude and get AD on the team, and now winning is expected. Even Rob Pelinka, who's the GM of the team, he said that this is a title or bust year. He's put the expectations out on the Lakers, because they were able to get their number 2 guy, Anthony Davis, who's putting up great numbers, who's the major statistical leader on this team. In my eyes, if they were going to give somebody MVP on that Lakers team, it would go to Anthony Davis, not LeBron. They have a shot to win a title, but I'm not betting on LeBron James, but the media is, and Vegas is. So we got to see what plays out. In my opinion, I don't think this favors LeBron James, because other players have got rest, and starting at the middle of July, towards the end of this month, they're going to be participating in a training camp, meaning that teams that didn't have their chemistry down are going to be able to find a rhythm, find a chemistry, get a camaraderie with their teammates. Guys like Kawhi and Paul George, who didn't get that time in that they were supposed to get, when there was training camp, because Paul George, he had 2 surgeries on his shoulders, and where he was not able to participate in training camp with his teammates. He's now going to get that value time with Kawhi Leonard. We don't know what they're going to become, but I know they're going to be formidable. But the media still is siding with LeBron James. This man is 35 years old, and yet this man has shown that in the last 2 finals he's come up short. Last year he didn't make the finals, but yet the media is still saying that he's the favorite. He's gonna come out on top. He's gonna win it because he now has Anthony Davis. I don't know. Maybe they know something. Maybe the media already know. Maybe Vegas already knows. But I think this is probably going to be LeBron. This is going to be a very challenging finals for all the teams, because everybody is rested. You even have some teams getting guys back. Guys who were injured, who weren't playing for the majority, like Portland. They're getting back Nurkic, and they're getting back Zach Collins. Other teams who had guys that were in and out of the line. Damian Leonard, he came back. and he's healthy now. Guys, teams are going to be well rested, man. This is going to be a well thought out championship. So the media could say LeBron is the favorite, but in my eyes, I don't think he's the favorite. Even though he's still standing at the number 1 seed, I don't think he's the favorite. I think teams, and plus, you got to look at there's no home court advantage. That Staples Center, it's now going to be the Amway Arena. It's now going to be Orlando's arena. They have to play in a situation where there's no fans. The Staples Center's fans are not going to be there. What kind of distraction is there going to be for opposing team to lose their composure when they're playing against a favorite like a Los Angeles Lakers team, LeBron-led Los Angeles Lakers team? I think there's going to be no pressure, man. It's going to be exciting, man. I can't wait for it. We got to see what goes on, but I'm not siding with the media's take that, LeBron is going to do this or do that. I think he's going to come up short.
Okay. Jacob Lonewolf, man, you got a lot to unpack. Let's get to it, brother.
Richy, you brought up a lot of points that I wrote last night, and you touched on that. Specifically, the one that you said, the media is going to bring up that LeBron has won championships in 3 different teams. That's a big one. Now let me go over the notes that I wrote last night. Okay, so the question that he knows the sport asked Richy Rich was the dupery of LBJ writers media and them wanting the Los Angeles Lakers to specifically win the NBA title. Now, what does the word dupery mean? Like, what does he knows his sport mean when he says the word dupery? Now, let's look at the definition of the word dupery, okay? Now, dupery is something intended to deceive, deliberate trickery intended to gain an advantage, a hoax, put on, a humbug, a fraud, a fraudulence, a shenanigan, a trickery, a gal, the use of tricks to deceive someone, usually to extract money from them, okay? Now, what does mainstream media means? Now, let's break what mainstream is. Mainstream is a term that usually refers to the common current of thought held by the majority, meaning that mainstream things are those that are currently popular with most people. What does media mean? Media is the communication outlets or tools used to store and deliver information or data. The term medium, the singular form of media, is defined as one of the means or channels of general communication, information, or entertainment in society, as newspapers, radio, or television. Now, when you bring those words together, mainstream media is a term and an abbreviation used to refer collectively to the various large mass news media that influence many people and both reflect shape prevailing currents of thought. Okay. Now, when it comes to the LBJ writers media, why is it so important? Because here's the thing, though, and I'm pretty sure you guys grew up watching 90s basketball, right? Is that back in those days, you didn't have the luxury of seeing highlights, right? Now, highlights is one of those. It's one of those very powerful tools that the media uses. Notice that on YouTube, you see a lot of these YouTube channels. They show you highlights of NBA games. Now, for the average casual fans, the majority of fans in the NBA are casual fans. They're not like us. They don't analyze the game. Now, when you watch a full game, they're not able to deceive you. You know why? Because you're able to see the little nuances of the game. You're able to see the game from the whole aspect. So when we see highlights, they're able to confuse us because they can put certain parts in the game and they can cut out and leave certain other parts. So sometimes we're confused on what goes on. Now, the dupery of the LBJ writers media is immensely powerful as it pertains to one player. Okay, so let's look at why it's powerful. Now we have to understand that this has happened. LeBron has been basically pampered and pandered to ever since he was in high school. This really has nothing to do with LeBron. it all has to do with the media, like not the media, Nike, the NBA, ESPN, all these other media outlets making a return on investment. These are business people. And let's look at some of the things, right? So, um, the some of these include on February 18, 2002, when LeBron was on the cover of Sports Illustrated, becoming the first high school basketball underclassman to do so. Who did that? On May the 22nd, 2003, he signed a $90 million deal with Nike. On December 7th, 2015, he signed a lifetime deal with Nike that is expected to exceed $1 billion. Okay. So ever since LeBron has came into the league in 2003, he has learned to become a class A narcissist because of the constant praising, the butt kissing, the pandering, the worshiping from the media, fans, teammates, celebrities. Oh, and biggest of them all, the general public. Okay.
Mhm.
Now when it comes to the LBJ writers media wanting the Los Angeles Lakers to win the NBA championship, it comes at no surprise because the media obviously has a history of hating on Kobe. Now, if you look at Kobe's career, Kobe is one of the most polarizing players that the NBA has ever known. Throughout his career, this man has had one of the most adventurous upside down left right path to greatness. Like his 2 years in the league, like like his first 2 years in the league, being benched by Dal Harris, having to face jealousy from teammates like Eddie Jones, Nick Van Exel, Shaq, and a plethora of other NBA players, being swept and bounced out of the first round by Utah twice and the Spurs, having to hear the noise from everyone that he can't win without Shaq, even though he was a big reason why they won the first three championships. Kobe did all the heavyweight lifting in the first three rounds of the playoffs. And then when it came to the finals, he was like, hey, Shaq, you take this. These Eastern teams, they can't hang with us. You take that. You know, um, he had to go through the 2003 trial against him. He had to face Phil Jackson stabbing him in the back twice by writing books about him being uncoachable, having to go through the rebuilding phase and the 7-year drought without winning a championship, losing to the Celtics in a heartbreaking loss in 2008, being robbed by the NBA and the media by only winning one MVP award his entire 20-year NBA career when he should have won five more of those things. Having that near career ending Achilles injury that forced him to never be that superstar player again. Going through another rebuilding phase, and last of all, after his tragic death in that helicopter crash that cost his daughter and seven other people's lives, and the NBA didn't honor him by making him the league logo. Okay.
Mhm.
Now, the LBJ writers media for a long time has said that LeBron has passed Kobe in the greatest of plays discussion even before he won a ring, he knows. And everyone all knew it was bullshit, as well as them. So over his career until now, LeBron has 3 rings, which he is 3 for 9. But the LBJ writers media know that he hasn't passed Kobe yet because last time I checked, 5 championship beats 3. Okay?
Mhm.
So what LeBron and his posse knew, meaning his posse is the LBJ writers media and the Richard Jeffersons of the world. This guy, I want to get on his ass saying, "Oh, you how like it's bad to put an asterisk on this year's title." What? Now I'm going to get on him, man. Um. So, uh, what was that? So what LeBron and his posse knew was that when he went to LA in 2018 in free agency, that was his best chance of so-called passing Kobe in the great discussion, so he can be right up there with MJ. Because even though the LBJ writers media they say that LeBron is better than Kobe, they they need something to back it up this time. They need substance. Because when everyone knows that they say that LeBron is better than Kobe. It's full of shit. It's not true.
Mhm.
So they know that since LeBron is on the Lakers, this is the best chance of beguiling, betwixting, the people, the masses. So in order to be considered a true and real Laker, you must win multiple championships on the highest level, not just one. It will be seen as a failure. When it comes to the Lakers organization, just winning one championship alone is a failure. You need to win multiple of those things, to be considered in the pantheon of greatness of the Lakers. So since the LBJ Writers media is mad and angry at Kawhi for choosing to join the Clippers and poses as a threat to the so-called La Chosen La Legacy, and as well as KD for stopping his La Legacy, what the NBA and the LBJ Writers media is going to do and say is that LeBron belongs on the Mount Rushmore of the all-time Lakers players by saying that he won championships on 3 different teams, which Kobe, KD, Kawhi have never done. This will put the nail in the coffin by saying that LeBron has officially so-called surpassed Kobe as the best player, as well as as well as bringing up manufactured stats to prove that he beats him in every statistical category, so he can close the door shut as him being the only player compared to MJ, so he can so-called pass MJ as one of the greatest players of all time. Now
Fact.
those are the notes I wrote. See, and the other day I saw Richard Jefferson, he basically said it will be insane to put an asterisk on this year's title, and clearly you also see what he's doing. This guy, man, like, he's a clown, bro. I like when Gilbert Arenas gets on his ass, saying, "What have you done to talk like this, man?" Like, it just seems like these role players, they're the ones who talk the most. Like, right after the NBA kicks them out of the league, they go to ESPN, It's always the role players like the Kendrick Perkins. That guy, man, he needs to get smacked, bro. Like he be talking all that, like his big dumb fat ass, like he be talking too much, mess, like fire, like you just tell, like, and I'll say the beautiful thing about the LBJ Writers media is so unique. It comes in all different facets and all different forms. You have the Nick Wrongs of the world, who's Nick Wrong can exaggerate a lot of LBJ LeBron's stats. He can exaggerate it and seem that LeBron is like God. You have Shannon, who's a cheerleader, who's a typical country bumpkin, who's gonna use phrases and he's gonna do it in his way. You have Brian Windhorst, who basically says that like he's known LeBron ever since he was young. He covered him in high school. You have the Chris Broussards of the world that said he's from Ohio. You have his teammates saying that they know the work that LeBron puts in. So you have different variations of people supporting LeBron on the front line. So sometimes when you have different personalities supporting one agenda, it can confuse you and make you think, oh, maybe I need to support this guy. Maybe it's me that's seeing it differently. So all the points that I wrote, I'm pretty sure that there's more points, but I wanted to stay on topic. That the media, like, they have a hatred for Kobe. They now, since the man is dead, they're gonna use his name in vain, and they're gonna say, "Oh, LeBron is continuing Kobe's legacy." LeBron is not continuing Kobe's legacy. Kobe's his own man. Like Stephon Marbury said, he don't need you to continue his legacy. Kobe don't need you, man. Like, see, the thing about the great Laker players is they create their own legacy for themselves. Magic won 5 with Kareem. Kobe and Shaq did it his own way. Kobe did it again by himself. Create your own version, Like LeBron saying that he's going to continue Kobe's legacy. What he's really saying is he doesn't want to build on his own because he knows he'll never be considered on the Mount Rushmore of the Lakers players because he knows that he has to win championships individually by himself. And when it comes to the Lakers, you can't just win one. You have to win multiple championships. And he knows that since he says things like, I'm going to continue Kobe's legacy, what he's saying that since he's adding onto Kobe and he's adding onto Kobe's legacy while putting himself in that as well. So he's betwixt people's minds, So that's pretty much all I got to say, man. Like, I covered a lot, so so I'm interested in what you're gonna say, man.
Okay, well, let's get on to it, man. As you guys know, I went ahead and just did a quick Google search, what I'm saying, of LBJ Writers Media just to see. And all I could see was Hino's posts that was on there in the Google search. So I say that to say this. Now, how is that relevant as it pertains to LeBron James? It's very relevant because what did I do by saying LBJ Writers Media? I started a path so that you guys can understand the truth-telling opposition of what's going on with him being a cult-like leader and him having a bunch of LBJ apologists and LBJ stands, cult-like followers. So I started this path so that it could create what's called a blueprint. It could create what's called a footprint. It could create what's called basically footsteps so people could follow. Because here's the thing when you dealing with pandering lies, right? Pandering lies have a thing where they leave a lot of mess. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like a pig in a haystack. When the pig is unlocked, it's unhinged. What does the pig do? By nature, they're dirty creatures. So they have to basically roll themselves and tussle themselves in mud. They have to be nasty. They have to be messy. They have to be dirty. Well, this is what the truth does. It comes behind the mess and it cleans it up. So just like they create a footprint of mess, you got to create a footprint of cleanliness and truth. This is why I'm the ultimate truth teller, because I come in cold-hearted, unadulterated, cutthroat truth-telling fashion. And the truth-telling fashion is this. LBJ Riders Media uses what's called NLP. See, I like the fact that Jacob, the researcher, shout outs to Richy Rich, because that's the nickname he gave him. And we're going to run with that. So from here on out, that's your nickname, Jacob Lonewolf. You are no longer Jacob Lonewolf. You have been bestowed upon, and you have been the stamp of approval known as Jacob the researcher. That's all I'm going to say with that, because that name sticks. Because when you step in the building, you come up in here and you give us stuff that makes a lot of damn sense. Now, neuro-linguistic programming. I have to rewind that because this is very important. Neuro-linguistic programming is something that people of power use. This is something that people in high places use this. And we're talking about the 3%ers. They use neuro-linguistic programming. This is how they're able to control the masses. This is how they're able to market their stuff and get it out there. See, he knows I could keep the secrets. I could hold it in, but I don't do that. Knowledge is power, but knowledge is also meant to be shared. I like to give you guys the secrets so that you guys understand how they work. And this is why your thought process, this is why your mind, this is why your abundance mindset, which is the ability to think independently on your own and on your free own volition, has to be separated from that scarcity mindset of an LBJ apologist and an LBJ stance. When you look at an LBJ apologist and you look at an LBJ stance, you know what they are? They are scarcity mindset individuals. And there's a reason why they're scarcity mindset, because they rather be in what's called the participation award era. What does that mean? Everybody arrives to the party, everybody arrives to the dance, and everybody gets a cookie. Everybody basically gets a win. Everybody gets an award. This is what LeBron has created. LeBron understood, or he understands, that the masses of people on the planet, and that's one thing that I'll give him credit for, are dodo heads. They're brain full of mush and brainwashed dodo heads. You just can't get nowhere around that. And him understanding that and understanding their laziness, their lethargic ways, their lack of wanting to go out there and hunt. You know, everybody wants to eat. Everybody always has a napkin ready to put around their neck, right? Everybody's always ready to get at the dinner table and go like this, chop at the bits for food. But who's going out there to get the hunting done to get the food? Because the good book tells us if a man doesn't work, he shall not eat. Let me say it again. If a man doesn't work, he shall not eat, right? Most people don't want to go out there and hunt. LeBron knows this. So in his little microcosm of a brain cell, he's able to at least use that form of neuro-linguistic programming, i.e. via the 27th law of power. See, I'm giving you guys jewels, so get the notepads out and get to the damn scribbling, because these jewels, they, you know, when they come out, man, you got to let it marinate in that corpus callosum. You got to let it marinate in the cerebellum. This is what we call the proselytizing you out of this foolery and this nonsense and this occlusion into what we call truth-telling and what is called the right way. Because remember, the truth hurts, but the truth will set you free. And guess what? The truth will always have its day. What is neuro-linguistic programming? Neuro-linguistic programming is the psychology of being able to delude the subconsciousness of yourself and then the subconsciousness of others. See, the reason why you have to delude the subconsciousness of yourself first is because you have to believe in your own garbage. You have to believe in your own trash. You want people to believe in something, they have to see that you're passionate about what you believe in. whether if it's good or whether if it's bad. There has to be an obsession there in your passionate thought and in your belief system on how you see things. And when people see that, whether if it's good, whether if it's bad, whether if it's smart, whether if it's dumb, whether if it's intelligent or dungness, i.e. poopness, i.e. Rudy Poo nonsense, they're going to follow. Because people just love to follow. They are sheep. They just love to follow. LeBron understands that. But where he was able to captivate and basically circle and saturate the market was he understands that the market is filled with a bunch of people that just want to show up. They don't care about winning. They just want to be there just to say that they won. They won by participation. LeBron is the participator by trade when it comes to basketball. This guy shows you he's a 33%er, a 3 for 9 abysmal NBA Finals averager and performer. He performs at 33%. But when you look at the majority of the people that tell you that they're LeBron James fans, they look at his stats. Oh, he's 28-88, 27-7-7. What the hell does that mean? You could be 28-8-8 all you want. You could be 27-7-7. But does that mean that you're NBA GOAT? This is how they tell you he is NBA GOAT, by his stats. They can't tell you he's NBA GOAT by winning because they know they're not. This one element they're not dumb in. They know that if they have to use his NBA Finals average, they don't stand on an argument. It actually makes them look weak. They're at least smart enough to realize that. So you know what they say? They say, well, he's the greatest stats player. You know, he puts up numbers. He's always putting up triple doubles. This is what they hide behind. But we've already deduced this a long time ago. He Knows the Sport already gave you this stuff in Sun Tzu, aka Art of War, 7 Steps Ahead of the Game, so many months ago, because we talked about this. And my fellow brethren, Tom Ross, also talked about it. Stats don't mean diddly squat. Stats don't mean shit. Richy Rich has talked about it too. When you look at the great players in the pantheon of greatness that are stat-filled, what do you see that's prevalent with all of them? Let's see. Jerry West is 1 for 9. That's not even 12% NBA Finals average. Wilt Chamberlain is 2 for 6. Don't get me started, man. Isn't that 33%? And then LeBron James is 3 for 9, 33%. These are the most stat-filled people you can think of when you think of stats. See, stats don't mean nothing. But stats are filled by a bunch of these computer geeky nerds that love basketball, that want to show you, look at these numbers, man. These numbers are so freaking cool. But what does these numbers equate to? When you ever talk to a LeBron tard, what they do is they try to throw numbers your way because they can't throw winning. If you notice, they always try to denounce winning. They always try to go against the grain of winning. They always try to say that winning doesn't amount to anything. You know why they do that? It's because if they have to follow under the winning argument, they know that LeBron has already disqualified himself off of winning. I have to rewind that. Y'all didn't catch that. They can't use the winning argument, which is the argument of absolution, because they know if they use that argument off of the strength of it alone, LeBron has already been disqualified. So they have to use outliers. Oh, look at him. He's not apolitical. He's supposedly political, which that's hogwash in of itself. LeBron James is this. He's that. LeBron James has all of these buddies. LeBron James, look, he's taking his buddies and he's brought them up. LeBron James, they have to use all of these outliers to make it seem like he is NBA GOAT, because they can't use the very thing that would be the classification or the attribute or the denotion of NBA GOAT, which is what he does on the basketball court. Remember, i.e. NBA GOAT. It's not life GOAT. It's not outlier GOAT. It's NBA GOAT. What have you done on the basketball court? And this is the problem. People like to use a lot of outliers to try to fulfill their ability to try to make it seem like the person is more than meets the eyes. This is the issue that I've always had with LeBron. I've seen LeBron for who he was from day one because my discernment is unmatched. Just put me in a room of 5 minutes with any damn body. Just let me analyze somebody for 5 minutes from afar. I can tell you everything that they're about. I don't know what it is. It's a gift. If I'm in front of you, it's even worse. If I'm locking eyes to you, maybe it might be a minute. But if I'm afar and I'm sitting back, that's all I need is 5 minutes, and I can tell you right then and there, this person ain't about nothing, or this person is the real fucking deal. LeBron James has been what he was. When I saw him playing at St. Mary's, it was the little guy, the Uncle Drew dude that was making the clutch baskets. And I said to myself, why is everybody getting all caught up in this high school kid that can't deliver the goods? He's quote unquote making the best play, but he's not closing the games out. Even Michael Jordan that went and watched that game in St. Mary to go watch LeBron James was shaking his head when he was talking to Charles Oakley. I want y'all to zoom that motherfucker in. And Jordan was kind of talking, saying, damn, what's up with him? Why is he not taking the last shot? Jordan was peeved at him then, because you can't be a LeBron fan on one end and then be an MJ and a Kobe fan on the other end. I have a fundamental problem with that. You either have to be one or you either have to be the other. And see, there's a lot of covert LeBron tards out here in these NBA streets. Y'all need to pay attention, because what they do is they slickfully and slyly talk good about LeBron James, and then they find ways to poke holes at Kobe. When you poke holes at Kobe, do you also know that you're poking holes at MJ? Do people even realize that? Because MJ and Kobe are cut from a very identical identity. It's not the same, but it's identical. So when you cut from one, you cut from the other. And see, LeBron tars, they know exactly what they're doing. And he knows the sport is laying it out on the red carpet for you guys. Because remember, I'm Sun Tzu, aka Art of War, the reincarnation version, 7 steps ahead of the game, dog. 48 laws of power on that ass. I see right through these motherfuckers, these covert LeBron tards. They always got something slick to say, something sly to say about a Kobe, because it's really their way of venting against Michael Jordan. Now Kobe's not in the picture. Look what happened. They are blatantly coming after MJ, because they knew they couldn't come after MJ because MJ was absolution, 100% NBA Finals average. So they used Kobe as their scapegoat, because Kobe was already the most polarizing basketball figure in NBA history, to try to attack him and denigrate him and bring his personality down so that they can uplift a MJ. So that they can uplift a LeBron. This is when they started this nonsense to say that LeBron leapfrog Kobe. How did that happen? I must have missed that memo. I didn't catch that memo. I didn't get that memo. I don't know where that came from. I don't know how did that even happen. On what planet? On what world? Even people that don't like Kobe like that, like a Charles Barkley, always got something sly into the mouth to say, told you that LeBron didn't pass Kobe. Allen Iverson had to come out and say, what the? Y'all talking about GOAT? Y'all talking about MJ, LeBron? How the hell y'all act like Kobe wasn't nice like that? Him and T-Mac said that. Y'all act like Kobe didn't play. You guys act like Kobe didn't exist. This is what the basketball world has become. And it took for Kobe Bryant tragedy for people to remember Kobe Bryant's greatness. But they want to blame Kobe every single time. Oh, Kobe made this mistake. Kobe made that mistake. If you don't understand the Kobe Bryant game, just leave that alone. Don't even talk about that. Anyone that out of their mouth says that Kobe Bryant is the most overrated basketball player, you don't know shit about basketball. If you say that Kobe Bryant is a carbon copy of Michael Jordan, you don't know shit about basketball. If you sit here and say that Kobe Bryant is not what people thought he was, you don't know shit about basketball. And if you sit here and say that LeBron James is better than Kobe, you don't know shit about basketball. Anybody that put LeBron James in their top 10 don't know shit about basketball. Anybody that put LeBron James in their top 5, even more so don't know shit about basketball. And that's the cold-hearted, the unadulterated, and the cutthroat truth-telling fashion. LeBron shouldn't even be in your fucking top 15. And that's just facts. Because when you slice and dice it and you cut it up like bread, you have to look at all of the underlying undercurrents that's associated with NBA GOATness and pantheon of greatness. The outlier, one of the outliers is you have to be 50% threshold NBA Finals average minimum. LeBron is 16.7% lower than that. So he's not even making the cut. He's not even making the minimum bar to be in the upper echelon. He is what we call the lower echelon of the pantheon of greatness. That's what LeBron James is at his truest and his most properest levels. And if people are always paying attention to LeBron, thank you, Glacier Don, they could see this for what it is. LeBron is not what you guys think that he is. He doesn't cut the mustard. Make sure y'all hit that thumbs up. Make sure y'all donate to the platform, man. The donation is on the bottom. Money sign, that heat and that fire, Cash App or Super Chat, man. Because we dropping gems here, man. And when a man works, he shall eat. Let me say it again. When a man works, he shall eat. I'm dropping these jewels to you guys, man. So get the notepads out and get to the damn scribbling. LeBron is not what you guys think that he is. And LeBron uses outliers. Thank you, Glacier Down. I'm going to post that up for a little bit. He uses outliers to make him seem that he's more than meets the eye. Like Transformers, right? This is what he does. He transforms your mind through the 27th law of power. And what you see is a bunch of brain full of mush and brainwashed dodo heads, i.e. LBJ apologists, i.e. LBJ stands, i.e. LBJ riders media. What do? Every left and right. They were poking at The Last Dance. Oh, Michael Jordan is such a hard leader. So since when did pushing people ever become a problem? Oh my gosh. Since when did that ever become a problem, to push somebody and to ride them and to tell them that you can be the maximum proficiency of what you are? See, we have to keep the foot on the what? On the next. We got to keep the foot on the what? On the next. And we got to apply that what? That unlimited pressure. I'm a Tibetan mastiff, man. Research that dog. You'll know what I'm talking about. Because pressure does what? It bursts his fucking pipes. We got to burst the pipes here, man. LeBron is not what you guys think that he is. And anytime somebody has to use outliers, anytime somebody has to use other things to prop themselves up, that means they are not what you think that they are. When Michael Jordan did the Last Dance documentary, his ass was sitting there to talk about his own documentary. You see what I'm saying? His ass was sitting there to talk about his own documentary. That's greatness personification. That's true alpha extraordinaire personification. That's greatness personified. You could talk about yourself because guess what? You've done it. You put in the work. So you have the right to talk about yourself. That's why when you hear Michael Jordan say Kobe Bryant deserves the comparison. Did you see Jordan when he cried at Kobe's funeral? It's as if he lost himself, man. And he said that. He lost a piece of himself that he's never going to get back. You think he would have said that about LeBron? The fuck out of here, man. That would have never happened. It would have never happened. Jordan wouldn't even have showed up. Jordan wouldn't even have called. That would have never happened. Because competition begets competition. Participation begets participation. Let me say it again. Competition begets competition, and participation begets participation. I'm right there with you, Glacier John. I don't hate LeBron. I don't have no issues with LeBron, but I'm always going to tell the truth about LeBron James because people forget about the truth about him. People slack off. People compromise. People sometimes say, well, we got to talk good about LeBron because if we don't talk good about LeBron, we're going to lose certain people. I don't give a fuck about all that. Because when you're telling the truth will always have its day. The truth hurts, but it will set you free. When you stand on the truth, you're always standing on a position of rightness. And people will ultimately gravitate towards that. Whether they hate you, they love you, or whatever. I choose to stand on the truth. And what I see is the most overrated NBA star I've ever seen in my life. The guy doesn't have, like Tom Ross always say, a signature move that you can go to. What, Mac trucking people to the basket? That's a signature move? When we think of Kobe Bryant, we think of elite footwork. We think of elite and undeniable skills. These are his signature moves. His ability to put the ball on the floor and don't get me started. Kobe Bryant took Michael Jordan's fadeaway and created 100 variations of that motherfucker. Even Jordan didn't even know that his fadeaway could impact the basketball the way it did. See, this is why people don't understand the little subtle differences between the Michael Jordan and the Kobe Bryant. They don't understand that. So they need somebody like me to break it down because they don't think in the same mental aptitude the way that I think when it comes to this basketball shit. I told you, I'm Nate Smith Jr., dog, the reincarnation. I invented this motherfucker. The truth of the fact of the matter is Kobe Bryant done took a lot of moves and just elevated it to the next level. The same LeBron James that they love said that Kobe Bryant, hey, don't get me started because I'm going to show it on one of those videos. I think it was back in 2006. He was sitting there like a freaking fanboy. Kobe Bryant got you, Richy, you remember this? I mean, you know, I got to do ultra fanboy rhetoric mouth. You know when you talking like an ultra fanboy with the ultra fanboy rhetoric, you got to talk like a duck. This is how they talk. LeBron James, this is LeBron James. Kobe Bryant got some of the greatest skills we've ever seen in NBA history. As a matter of fact, it's the greatest skills we've ever seen in NBA history. This came out of LeBron's mouth. LeBron used to sit there like a fanboy and watch Kobe Bryant play basketball. Oh, when I'm not playing, man, I sit there and I watch Kobe, dog. I see how he plays it. I want to see how the defense play against him. He had the audacity. Look at the class A narcissism on this dude. He had the audacity to think that defenses play him the way they play Kobe. That means you have to have a lethal shot, dog. That means you got to be able to put the ball on the floor. That means you have to have footwork arsenal like nobody's business. That means you got to be able to sit there and jab step a motherfucker. You got to pivot. You got to fade away. You got to up and under. These are things that LeBron James are allergic to. Do you understand the fadeaway variations and combinations that a Kobe Bryant has? Get me started. Kobe Bryant has over 1,000 fadeaway variations on that ass. LeBron don't even know what a fadeaway is. Have you seen LeBron fade away? When he fade away, he look constipated. He look like he about to poop on his damn self. He tried to do a fadeaway when he was on the Miami Heat. I was like, what the fuck is that? You might as well have just done a regular shot. It was the most, how could I say? It was the most repulsing turnaround shot I've ever seen in my life, dog. I wanted to slap the TV. I was like, what the hell? Because I fade away on the basketball court, and I do that thing extra crispy like a fucking fried 3-piece chicken, dog. Richy Rich could tell y'all that. Ain't nobody a street ball legend got a fade away like me, dog. Nobody. So when I see a motherfucker fade away and they look like they about to poop on themselves, I have a fundamental problem with that. LeBron has no footwork. He takes errant jump shots. He takes long 3-point shots when he basically dribbles the clock out because he can't find the right play to pass the ball to somebody. LeBron is very predictable. He's very easy to fucking guard. He's not unstoppable, man. He's very easy to guard. And Jordan was right when Jordan said all you got to do is make him go left. LeBron does not like to go left, dog. He doesn't. Because every time you force him left, he has to push off. That's why he tried to do that against Rajon Rondo. Rajon Rondo was ripping his ass up. Patrick Beverly was ripping. When you let little guys like that rip your ass up, you're supposed to be a Mack truck. You're supposed to tell this little motherfucker, you get on me, I'm going to manhandle you in the post. Kobe does that. Kevin Durant does that. His footwork is the worst and the most atrocious nonsense I've ever seen in basketball, man. He travels his ass off, the crab dribble. Don't get me started. Then James Harden took that and remixed that to the next level. He took that from LeBron. See, we have to talk about LeBron's game. Free throw shooting, oh my gosh, people don't understand how underrated free throw shooting is. And this man is 67%. He used to be in the 70s. At least he used to be in the 70s. When was 67% of free throw line ever good? I told you, I'm hitting nerves right now. You see, we got LBJ, apologists, and LBJ State. You know when he knows get on the mic, I touch nerves, dog, because I'm the ultimate truth teller, man. This is what ultimate truth telling is about. You touch fucking nerves. And that's what I did. I touch nerves here. So the truth of the fact of the matter is this. LeBron James is the most overrated basketball player we've ever seen. He's overrated like nobody's business. When we look at LeBron James and we look at what he brings to the table as a basketball player, we have to tell ourselves in cold-hearted, unadulterated, and cutthroat truth-telling fashion that he is probably number 20 on that GOAT list. Number freaking 20. That's right, I said it. I'm going to touch nerves today, boy. He's number 20. And if you keep going, I might have to say 25. Damn right I got you crying, dog. You know me. You know when I get in truth-telling fashion, people going to be laughing or they're going to be hot and bothered like what? Like grits. Let me say it again. They're going to be hot and bothered like grits. That's what's happening here. This is the weight and the magnitude that you have as a truth teller. I carry this burden. I carry this weight all my life. Richy Rich knows this. I either piss people off or I make people so happy. There is no in-betweens with me, dog. It's either what I say gonna stick you to a level to where you're gonna want to punch the shit out of me or you're gonna be pissed off, but guess what? It's gonna make you get better because I'm gonna tell you something that you don't want to hear. I'm gonna tell you what you need to hear. Whether you're friend, ally, it don't freaking matter, or foe. If I hear something that I'm not supposed to hear, you're getting checked, you're getting ethered, you're getting murked, but you're also getting balanced. Remember, checks ain't always just checks. We balance motherfuckers up in here too. We balance your ass up in here too. But the truth of the fact of the matter is we have to look at LeBron James for what he is. And he's overrated. And what we see from the NBA and all of these people is they're setting this dude up to win an NBA title. I already see the writing on the wall because the Clippers are not back in that rhythm. They're not clicking on all cylinders. Kawhi Leonard and them not in that mode to where they could do what they have to. If they were back in their mode and they were back in their rhythm and they were back in their cerebellum and all that other good stuff, then guess what? Yeah, I would pick the Clippers to win, but I already see that. When the NBA comes out, Adam Silver with that stupid, snarky smile, oh, the Los Angeles Lakers, everything Los Angeles. It's like Los Angeles Lakers. I thought there was 21 other teams that was playing basketball. Why is Giannis Antetokounmpo or the Milwaukee Bucks not the face? Isn't he the best player in basketball, 33-13? How did he become number 2 NBA player in the restart of the season? What the fuck did that happen? See, this is the stuff that I'm talking about. Rudy Poo and Plum Plum brainisms, classic Doden troglodytisms, ultra fanboy with the ultra fanboy rhetoric isms. Now you guys understand this incendiary terminology and where that comes from. It's because of these folks. LeBron is not what you guys think that he is. And the quicker you guys see this, the quicker you will understand that. Here's the funny thing about it. And I'm going to say this, and I'm going to leave it alone with this topic. When we leave from this LeBron James era, here's the funny part about it. LeBron will be the most forgotten superstar in NBA history. Y'all didn't catch that, though. LeBron is going to be the most forgotten superstar in NBA history. Why do you think I'm waiting for the evolution of a Zion Williamson? Zion Williamson going to make people forget LeBron. Because what does the name Zion mean? It means he feeds a whole fucking village. That's why the NBA can't stand Zion Williamson. That's why they talk bad about Zion, because they already saw that. And you guys already see what Zion did when he played up against LeBron. He dropped 30-something of them pieces. He dropped high 20-something. Listen, man, LeBron has no signature moves. He has nothing but just outliers. That's easy to forget. Kevin Durant is going to be remembered in basketball at a higher level than LeBron James, because what do I always tell you guys about basketball? It's not about me. It's not about Richy Rich. It's not about Jacob Lonewolf. It's not about this generation. It's about the next generation and how the next generation views and sees basketball at its highest level, in its highest form, in its purest form. And you know what they're going to come to the conclusion of? Holy shit. Forgive me, Lord. They're going to see that LeBron James was an abysmal 33.3% NBA Finals averager and performer. And you know what the NBA is seeing? NBA sees his finals average. And you know what the NBA is saying? We got to get him out of this slump. Just like they helped his ass with Nike when they signed that $90 million deal, because they said, you know what? We invested $90 million in this fool. He better recoup some fucking investment. And if he can't do it off the heavyweight lifting of his own clutchness, then guess what? We're going to have to lagoon ref the situation for him. Because we got to get our recoup of our investment back. Richy Rich said that so eloquently on so many lives so many months ago when he said Kobe Bryant had opened up the international market with NBA titles. And when LeBron came to the endorsers and the advertising, he was asking, hey, how can I jump into the market? They sized his ass up. They dissed his ass and they said, well, you got to win an NBA title. NBA title opens you up into the international market. That's why Kobe Bryant's able to open up. And this is Kobe after Colorado, y'all. I don't even want to think of Kobe if there was no Colorado. Oh, my gosh. But Kobe was able to open up the international market, something LeBron couldn't do. I'm sad by the 2012 NBA Finals because the 2012 NBA Finals was the worst way to make a superstar get out of desperation. That was the most desperate win for an NBA title ever. I almost cried to watch Kevin Durant drop 32 PPGs and to watch a fucking Joel Anthony go to the free throw line more than Kevin Durant. If y'all true basketball purists, y'all would know what I'm talking about. How the hell does a Joel Anthony get more free throw attempts than a freaking Kevin Durant? That's why Kevin Durant cried, because Kevin Durant knew they cheated him. When you see a grown-ass man cry, it's for one or two things. Either they lost their mother or somebody robbed them. Men don't fucking cry like that. Y'all didn't catch what I said. Sean O, I know that shit hit a chord. That's why you said LMAO. Let that marinate in the corpus callosum and in the cerebellum. I'm dropping jewels right now, man. I'm in my He Knows His Sport swag. And you guys know when I'm in that swag, get the notepads out and get to the damn scribbling. Get the popcorn out and get to the poppity pop it. You have to look at grown men and them crying. Grown men cry for only two reasons. Their mom died or they got robbed. Especially a brother. They got robbed of something. And that's why Kevin Durant cried. And look who he went to go cry to, his mama. Because they robbed him. And they robbed him openly. It wasn't even blindly. They just did that shit straight up. And they didn't even care. Because Kevin Durant was probably looking like, how the hell does a Joel Anthony get more free throw attempts than me? I'm averaging 32 PPGs. I'm 50, 40, 90 walking gazelle up in this motherfucker. So what Russell Westbrook's thinking up the joint? We should at least went to a game 7 because I'm killing these guys on the court. LeBron can't check me. LeBron couldn't check a young Kevin Durant. So what do you guys think 5 years later when he dropped that 35 crooked little in his damn face? What you guys thought was going to happen with that? Kevin Durant put his ass on notice. Why do you think they hate Kevin Durant? Kevin Durant to me is the outlier. You know why I love Kevin Durant so much? Yes, and I said it. I love the brother. And I'm going to tell you why. Because Kevin Durant was able to do vicariously what I wanted Kobe to do. Kobe couldn't do it to LeBron because the NBA wouldn't allow it. Those Muppet years, 08, 9, and 10, that was supposed to be Kobe versus LeBron. That was supposed to be back-to-back 3 straight times. And you know what? Kobe was going to be 3-0 on his ass. The NBA knew if Kobe would have beat LeBron, the whole LeBron thing that you guys are hearing about right now, it would have been done. It would have been over with. Because Kobe would have eaten and murked that whole situation that's called a LeBron James. And the NBA didn't want that. They knew that hit would have been harder than any hit ever. And Kobe was salivating to the damn mouth. Bring your rabbit ass over here so I can eat there and murk you in the NBA Finals. Kobe was going to lock his ass up, and Kobe was going to check his ass up, and Kobe was going to burn his ass up with baskets. I know Kobe Bryant, dog. Kobe was going to say, chomping at the bits. No, he was going to, you think Dirt and the whiskey? Hey, y'all don't know, boy. Kobe was going to fuck LeBron James up on that basketball court. Go look at some videos where Kobe checked LeBron James up 94 feet. LeBron tried to do this push-off, and Kobe still ripped that shit. Went down there and dunked the basketball on the other court. That's what the finals would have been. Kobe would have checked LeBron up, would have told these motherfuckers, get the hell out the damn way. I'm locking his ass up, and I'm dropping buckets on his ass. That's what Kobe would have done to him. Lock him up and drop buckets on his ass. They didn't want that. So Kevin Durant did that. And that's why I respect Kevin Durant. Because he regressed that NBA abysmal finals average to 33.3%. Why do you think they're anti-LeBron? Why do you think they gave him that title? Every time they talk about Kevin Durant, it's a denigration against it's every time they talk about LeBron and they mention Kevin Durant, it's to denigrate Kevin Durant. Because they understand the full weight and the magnitude of what a Kevin Durant did to a LeBron James, and they can't stand that. I can't wait till Kevin Durant come back, boy. The NBA order will be restored because it would be him and Kawhi locking shit up again. LeBron won't even be allowed to be entered into the building. And if LeBron was a true competitor, LeBron would have turned around and LeBron would have said, you know what? Screw this season. I ain't playing nobody at their best. What about COVID-19? What about social distancing? We don't even have a cure. And we got people like J.R. Smith popping dirty off of weed and stuff like that. Clearly, nobody's playing basketball because they didn't even know the basketball season was going to continue. But yet we ready now? Come on, man. Stop the wolves over the eyes, man. Stop the blinders over your eyes and see these things for what they are. And even so-called people that know basketball are being duped by this. Oh, the NBA season is going to start. Like, it's something that you're supposed to galvanize and be happy about. These players are not going to be at their best. The NBA just said in a media article that it's going to be sloppy play. If you know this to be true, why don't you just wash it and wait till the fall for the next season? Call this a complete wash. But it's because they got to get LeBron James out of the slump. That's what it all boils down to. I said all of that to say this. They are situating him to get him out of this abysmal 33.3% NBA Finals average slump. Because they understand that maybe a he knows keeps keeping the foot on the what? On the next. And keeping the foot on the what? On the next. And reminding people of this abysmal 33.3% NBA Finals average. And they need to lift it up a little bit because they know after the last dance, damn, everything went back on MJ's corner now. We need something because we need to help LeBron, dog. A freaking documentary is just going to be copycat. We need something. We need to give him a lifeline. So that's why I don't trust the restart of the NBA season. It's to set things up for the Los Angeles Lakers to win the title, and it's pathetic. And anybody that's using what we call a true basketball eye test could see this for what it is. Mic drop. Cemetery silence. I'm out. Next topic. All right, let's jump on to the next topic. Okay. Now that we talked about the NBA season starting up with just 22 games, when we all know you're supposed to finish the regular season with 30 teams, is to take advantage of the sloppiness. What is your guys' take on that? I'm gonna let you go, Jacob Lonewolf, first on that. Because last time I checked, the NBA season is supposed to finish out with 30 teams. Even though those teams are not gonna make the playoffs, you're supposed to continue on with 30 teams. Why are they doing this 22 team nonsense? I know the answer, but I want to know what your answer is.
Particularly, when it comes to this topic, here's my observation why I feel like the NBA is only allowing 22 teams to come back. The reason for that is that they're trying to obviously rush into the playoffs as quick and as fast as possible because they want LeBron to win that fourth championship, and they know that players haven't been in basketball shape so far. They've been in shape but not basketball shape. There's a difference between being in shape and being in playing shape, right? So they obviously know that I think LeBron has been one of the few players in the NBA that's been in shape so far. So they know that they need to rush him in order to win that championship. So if you know anything about the other 8 teams that were left off, when you play against multiple teams, it's hard to prepare for them. This is why when it comes to the playoffs, it's easier for teams to if you're focusing on one team, you're able to create game plans. You're able to create do X and O's, and you're able to study them because they know that if they brought the other 8 teams back, then those teams would have had a fight for the 8th spot, and they probably would have challenged them. So the teams that were left off were the Cleveland Cavaliers, the Golden State Warriors, Minnesota Timberwolves, Detroit Pistons, Atlanta Hawks, New York Knicks, Chicago Bulls, and the Charlotte Hornets. Okay, but with me, my observation, is allowing me to see is that they're trying to rush to the playoffs as quick as and as fast as possible, so LeBron could win that fourth NBA championship. Because they know that if the other teams start to get a little groove on, they don't need a lot of time to get ready. They may not be in basketball shape ready, but they may be ready enough to challenge LeBron to the highest level and dethrone him. And I feel like when it comes to the other teams like the Clippers and Milwaukee and all those teams, a lot of those teams are rusty. Milwaukee was playing well this entire season, and they definitely I can definitely see from Giannis' point of view. I wouldn't blame them if they came back rusty, man. You started off the season with what? Their record was they had single digit losses, and they were a 50-win team, and you all of a sudden you think you're just automatically gonna get that group back. Now it's gonna take some time, man. And with the Clippers is an interesting thing, because they haven't had a lot of chemistry together because obviously Kawhi, is smart. He's preserving his body. He's preserving his energy. He does not want to waste his energy on meaningless games and occur another injury. And Paul George had those two shoulder surgeries. So they don't have enough chemistry together. So if you all of a sudden you bring all these teams back, the only teams that were having chemistry were the Lakers, because they had an easier schedule. And when it comes to playoff time, they're going to have an advantage. Even though neither team has home court advantage, the Lakers have that advantage to where they let's just keep real. LeBron has access to a lot of powerful people, so don't just assume that he's like these other NBA players that were just sitting at home and doing whatever. No, he has a gym in his house. He has all these other things. He has access to powerful people, so he's able to stay in shape. Unlike the rest of the guys. And the fact that the NBA is bringing this season back lets me know why. It's a waste. Like when KD said that he wasn't going to come back, I was happy. I was happy that he decided to scrap the season and put it in the wayside, because if he would have came back, man, they would have ripped him apart. They would not Like they would not give him an excuse. So with my observation is what I've noticed is that they want LeBron to just rush into the playoffs and win that NBA championship. It's like, it's like that split second, when you can just get like your stuff in. It's like a house fire, It's like
Mhm.
when you have like valuable possessions in the house, right? And there's that split moment of time to just go in and grab in whatever you want and just leave. That's what they're trying to do. So they know everyone is kind of out of shape. So they're saying, "Hey, LeBron, this is your split second decision to win a championship. Go there in fast and hurry up and win and get it out." So that's what they're trying to do. Because and you could obviously see that with the the NBA Finals is expected to like end in October the 12th. It's that 3 month window because the playoffs usually goes for like 2 to 3 months. So they obviously measured the time that that LeBron and the Lakers could hurry up and win that championship fast. Because usually when in basketball season it takes about 3 to 4 months to really get in true basketball shape. So they know the metrics of all these stats and all these analytics. So that's my observation tells me that it's just like it's the analogy is like your house is burning down. You have a valuable possessions in the house, and there's that split moment of time to just go in there and get whatever you want and just leave. So that's my take on that.
What's your take, Richie Rich?
Yeah, you guys brought up some great points. The NBA would come out and say that the reason why they're not including these teams, I mean, is because those teams they have the worst records in the league. They also would like to limit the body count, of people in that bubble that they're going to have in Orlando, so they don't have an outbreak. That's the answer that they would give. I mean, there's a lot of reasons why they're going with this format. Obviously, those teams would be able to affect those teams' playoff seeding as well. Like a team like the Knicks could probably beat somebody, and you know how the West is. You lose a game, a number 2 seed or a number 3 seed. If they lose two important games down the stretch, they'll go all the way down to a fifth or sixth seed. Because the West is very competitive and the seedings are close. As opposed to the East, where you have the Bucks, you have the Celtics, and then you have and then everybody else, their records are like they're not that there's some distance between their records. It could be that they're going to try to give LeBron James some preferential treatment, but I just don't know, man. I'm looking at this and I'm thinking this is gonna favor the Clippers, man, because it's giving Kawhi Leonard and PG some much rested time. These guys had injuries. They were playing through injuries while they were playing. Kawhi was still doing his load managing, and PG was still coming off those two shoulder surgery, and then he just had a hamstring issue. But they had that loss to the Lakers, but then they were starting to win games. But I think it gave some teams, like the Clippers, a good time to rest, recruit their bodies, and be able to compete. Obviously, there's going to be sloppy play when these guys come back, but you got to look at the bright side to this. There's not going to be any fans. That means that the attention is going to be put on those refs. There's how fans they sway the refs' attention. Like if you're playing in a home stadium and fans are like, refs, you suck, refs, you suck. You already know, like they make a questionable call. The calls down the stretch might be in the home team's favor in a playoff series when they're making questionable calls early in the game, and you already know towards the end of the game they're going to start calling calls in favor of the home team. But now there's no home court advantage, man. There's no fans in those stadiums. What are these refs going to do, man? They're going to be under fire. If these guys are out there making questionable calls, they're going to be called out. Just how you see what this Black Lives Matters thing is doing right now. Everybody who's out here making a questionable comment about blacks saying some questionable things that they shouldn't be saying, these people are being canceled, man. These people they're being put under fire. It's like how these referees are going to be put under fire if they're out here doing some questionable things for you know who. So these guys, they better call these games right, or they're going to be called out because more attention is going to be brought to them. You didn't know these referees' names before. You're going to know them now. If these guys are out here doing some silly things that they shouldn't be doing because they want a certain you know who to win his fourth NBA Finals. So this man is going to have to earn this championship. It's not going to come easy. If he wants to go out there and he wants to win, he's going to have to earn that thing.
Well, Lewis made a point, and he said people still don't understand how this will benefit the Clippers. I hear what he's saying, but I don't agree with that point because I don't see how it's going to benefit the Clippers. No one's going to out-benefit the Lakers. The Lakers are going to have the lion's share of any and everything. We saw that in the last time that they played. The last game that they played that Lamar Newman predicted how the game was going to come out. That was the first game that I went ahead and covered along with Ben Castro and Richy Rich. We covered that game, and we saw how the Los Angeles Lakers were getting the benefit of the lion's share of the call. The Lakers are going to get the lion's share of everything when it comes to the Staples Center. LeBron James has actually been still working out and still training. So I just don't see how the Clippers are going to get the benefit of the calls here. I don't see how they're going to get the benefit. I understand that they're in the Staples Center, but they're always going to be, quote unquote, the stepsisters or the secondary team to the Los Angeles in Los Angeles. I mean, it is what it is. They play in the same building as the state, and they play in the same building, the Staples Center. So they're always going to be the sisters to the Los Angeles Lakers. Now that's the truth behind it. Like, we can't just act like the Clippers are all of a sudden going to be this team that the refs are going to get behind. Kawhi Leonard's not even a player by association that NBA referees get behind over LeBron James. You know, if Kawhi was on the same level of a LeBron in terms of Lagoon reffing, then I can see that. But I just don't see how the Clippers are going to benefit out of this situation, because we see it on NBA.com. We see on Yahoo. We see all of these things that's going on, and we see how all of these players and all of these teams are lining up. Adam Silver started his first speech by saying the Los Angeles Lakers, and then don't get me started, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, why would you say that? Why you're an NBA commissioner? Like, you should be focusing around the 22 teams. Now, Winetta Thomas said the Clippers have been working out also. Well, I'm not around them day to day. Winetta, you may be right. You may be right in saying that they're working out all day. But if I'm looking at everything and I'm digesting everything, let's think about it. Paul George, when it's his off season, anyone that's been really following Paul George in his off season, does Paul George really look like somebody that puts in the work like that in the off season? No. Paul George is a party animal. Kawhi Leonard, now that's a different thing. Kawhi Leonard, yeah, I could see that. I could see what you're talking about as it pertains to that. But Paul George, especially with him being injured, we just went through COVID-19, folks. Like, y'all got to wake up and see these things here. Let's not act like during this outbreak, these basketball players were training their asses off. This wasn't happening. People were going like the NBA season wasn't going to continue to happen. And when NBA players are basically in their off season, do you really think they're training like that? There's only one player that we know that off season, on season, he trains the way that he trains, and you got to give him credit for that. And that's probably one thing that I'm gonna give him credit for. That's LeBron James. He spends over $1 million on his body. It is what it is. I'm not gonna sit here and say that Kawhi Leonard's not training, but let's be real with ourselves. Are these guys training? These guys didn't even think the NBA season was gonna come around. You know how many TikTok videos I've seen with NBA players on them? Did that look like they were training? Come on, y'all. Y'all gotta wake up and smell the coffee here. J.R. Smith just got popped for weed, recreational weed. You think he was training? They're setting this thing up for the Los Angeles Lakers to win. It's sad because if I'm a competitor like LeBron, my information and my intel would be, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and just chill. That's what I would do. I would just sit there and chill. I don't want to play and start in the NBA season where everyone's going to be sloppy. See, here's the thing. We're sitting here and telling ourselves these guys are working out. But we know when the NBA season starts, and you guys know how basketball is, people are going to be sloppy. Do you know why people are going to be sloppy? Because they are not in what's called true basketball shape. You guys know what true basketball shape is, right? That's running the floor up and down for 48 minutes. I don't care what kind of jump shots these guys are doing. I don't care what type of shooting that they're doing. That's not basketball shape. Nobody's in basketball shape right now. So the level of competition is not going to be the same. And then here's the biggest outlier here. And I want this to stick on that. I want this to stick, Louis. I want this to stick to everyone. How is the NBA season? Because now we're jumping into the third topic. How's the NBA season going to look like from here on out? Because you're restarting NBA season. Are you telling us that you're going to finish the NBA season by October and November, and then you're going to continue to do a continuation? So that means the NBA is not going to stop until June of next year, right? If you want to put everything back in its order. Or is this going to be the new norm? Is this going to be the new NBA schedule? Because if this is the new NBA schedule, they're fucked. They can't compete with no damn football. Last time I checked, ain't nobody compete with the NFL. So if they're running with this new schedule, they are screwed. And then they got to deal with the competition of baseball in the World Series, because isn't the World Series around October and November? So why the hell would you do a season? Why don't you just call it a wash and wait until the fall and start all over? Because the basketball season in its normal variation, it doesn't have to deal with the lion's share of NFL or MLB. It interwovens a little bit, but not all the way. And the lion's share of its season is what it is, basketball. The focus is on basketball. But if this is your new norm, they're fucked. They're not even going to be watched like that. Just watch what I'm talking about. Look at the competition between the NFL and the NBA. Go watch. As the NBA does this stuff where they start out, what sport you think people are going to be gravitating to more? Because football's coming right at the perfect time. Because, things are opening up more and more and more. You guys seriously think that basketball is going to go over NFL? NFL is the number one sport in America. Anybody that knows sports knows this. So if the NBA is smart, see, I'm helping them out from a business standpoint. If they're smart, they need to watch this damn season and call it a season, because it's not going to help their bottom line. Not from a football standpoint, because nobody's leaving their football games. Nobody's going to leave their Sunday football, their Thursday football, their Monday night football to watch a basketball game. That shit is not happening. Don't get it twisted. Especially with the level of players, especially a LeBron. When people are used to Michael Jordan, yeah, they'll do that for Michael Jordan. They ain't going to do it. They'll do that for a Kobe Bryant. They ain't going to do that for no damn LeBron James. The hell's going to waste their time for LeBron over football? Come on, y'all.
Well, money is the reason, because it was reported that if they didn't finish this season out, it was going to have major implications on the seasons going forward, meaning that they would have to restructure their collective bargaining agreement, meaning that these players that are on supermax contracts were going to have to restructure their deals. They would have to take less money. And imagine the guys, the number 15, number 14 guys on the bench, man. These guys would have to take significantly less money. Everything would have been changed up. And you already know their relationship with China, man. That's on ice right now because of the whole, Daryl Morey, LeBron James thing. That means that money that they were getting in China, they're not getting it anymore. They're not getting that package. So that's already going to affect their salary cap going in the next season. This right here would have been a huge blow. The guys that are making huge deals like Stephen Curry, Damian Lillard, James Harden, the guys that are making $40 to $50 million, they would have had to, cut give a piece of that pie back. So this is the reason why they're doing this. This is the reason why, these players, some of these guys had these meetings, the stars, because they didn't want to cancel the season and they didn't want to have to give back that money. It was definitely going to affect that. So this whole force thing that they're trying to bring back, this is the main reason. It's money, man, money. If they don't take in those billions, it's like a reported, I think, $2 billion billion. If they don't come back and play these games, it's $2 billion that they're leaving on the table for this season, and they can't lose out on that because it's going to affect them going forward.
All right. Jacob, what's your take on it? Then we can jump into the next topic.
Yeah, I agree. I was just gonna bring that up. Obviously, with China and all of that. The beef that China has, with the NBA over, the riots that were happening over there and the things that we're facing over there in China. And yeah, I didn't bring up that point. That's I thank Rich for that. Like I didn't know about that. I forgot about that. It was about the money. So definitely, it was definitely. I was definitely thinking about that. That they had to come back because they would have had to restructure their deals, and also were you gonna go into the global pandemic part? Or were you gonna go straight into the last topic? Because I was gonna touch on the global pandemic in this one, but you know.
Okay. Well, yeah, go ahead and touch the global pandemic. We jumping into that third topic. You might as well just go ahead and touch up on it.
Okay, so basically, your question was the third one was why isn't the global pandemic an issue anymore as it pertains to basketball? So no Q in sight, but basketball is good to go. Yeah, man. For a lot of these major corporations, they're not affected, man, and this is why. Like, I know this has nothing to do, but this is why when it comes to we as black people, like we don't have the wealth and power like other people do in this world. See, these major big corporations, they're able to get away with staying in business. They never have to worry about stuff like this because they have the relationships. They know powerful politicians to sway them and to allow them to play during this time. It's the small businesses that are affected. Like the local sports teams, or just all these other entertainment venues that are affected by these. We also know most of the majority of the NBA owners are white. So they have a lot of power. They're billionaires. You don't think that billionaires have relationships? You don't think that they're able to sway politicians and say, hey, like allow us to play during this time where even though things are starting to open up right up again, basketball is one of those sports where it's contact sport. So, people are sweating on each other, people are having contact with each other. So when you talk about the coronavirus, you know, in particularly in those type of environments, it's more able for players to be prone to contract that virus, and this goes to show you the level of corruption, that we have in this world. The few people are always profiting. No matter what, no matter how much it is at risk to players, they're able to get into contact with powerful people, and they're able to play the season out and to make money. Because the whole purpose of this is to make money. This really has nothing to do with the players. It's to make the money. They they need to make their money back. As business owners should. I definitely I can see why that is, but your health is your number one wealth, and you know I know a lot of people are questioning this whole, coronavirus. They're questioning the severity of it. I don't have too much information on that, but with this, like, it goes to show you that like power, like everything can be corrupted. Like if you have the necessary resources to play the season out, during this tough time, then they're able to get ahead. And you know um with the Q and basketball. So one of your question was so no Q in sight, but basketball is good to go. Yeah, exactly. I don't know why like teams are coming back. I don't know why a lot of these sports teams are allowed to play. Like you see with professional wrestling, they're still going even when the coronavirus is happening. You know, I'm pretty sure the UFC are doing fights as well. You
Yeah,
know,
they are.
but I don't know why a lot of these other businesses that don't really have that much physical contact with people, like a basketball or these other sports venue, do that they're shut down. You know, that makes me raise my eyebrow. You know, because like, last time I checked, that when you're playing sports, you know, people are sweating on each other. You know, people are sneezing, they're coughing. You know, so people are more prone to contract the virus. Whereas if you're going to a lot of these restaurants, a lot of these small business uh places, you're just getting your product and leaving. You know, it's like a quick second exchange. So, you know, definitely, you know, I'm very kind of upset at, you know, that, you know, a lot of these big major corporations, a lot of these big wealthy owners are able to get leeway while the rest of the other people in the world, you know, they have to follow the guidelines, they have to follow the policies and procedures, you know, and or if they don't, they'll pay hefty fines. So it goes to show you that when people try to separate sports from politics, they're all one and the same. You know, politics is not just when it comes to running a country. Like there's a lot of politics in sports that I don't like the mainstream media. They always have to create narratives. You know, because I'm pretty sure when back in those times when the media was around, you know, they had to give factual evidence. They had to give reason, because the media back then was, they were a medium of communication. They were communicating to the masses what was happening. You know, even if we weren't in the stadium or we were at home, they televised it so they can give the right information. But since obviously over time, you know, they've mastered that mainstream media is a very powerful thing in society to influence people. You know, so that, you know, they're able to, you know, control the narratives, and they're able to create all these storylines. But, you know, last time I checked in sports, isn't it about, you know, wins and losses? Like, why do they have to create narratives in sports like this with the coronavirus? You know, when it pertains to the Lakers winning the championship, saying that, oh, if LeBron wins his championship, you know, it's the most hardest championship that he's ever going to win. You know, with the death of Kobe, the coronavirus. What else? What's another obstacle that they're going to use against? They're going to use for LeBron. He's uh He's had to. He didn't make the playoffs last season. You know, he had to face the tough teams. You know, so
They're even going to
they're
throw
using
George Floyd. They're even going to throw the George Floyd situation into it,
ex-
as if
yeah,
he was involved into that. This is the problem that I have with LeBron James. Everything is
exact
orbited around him when it has nothing to do with him. But go ahead.
exactly. You know, and also, you know, when people say that LeBron speaks out more, this is why I will give them credit. You know, LeBron obviously, you know, when it comes to political issues, you know, he has spoken out. You know, I definitely give him that. You know, whether we may whether we may agree or disagree with him, you know, at the end of the day, he is a brother, so definitely a brother should speak out. But the thing with me is that, when has speaking out ever solved anything? You know, now I know that it's good to bring light into a situation, but I don't like it when the media tries to denigrate Michael Jordan, saying, MJ never spoke out. You know, he never did this and that, you know. And, you know, yeah, Michael Jordan has flaws, you know, but at the end of the day, he's like, he even said in a documentary that his sole purpose was to be a basketball player. He didn't want to be a politician. He didn't want to be put in that role, you know, and that's understandable. Like, you know, if you're an athlete, why do you have to why do you have to have all that pressure, particularly as a black athlete, to speak out on political issues, you know? And last time I checked, did I see LeBron on the front line protesting? No, I saw Malcolm Brogdon, I saw Jalen Brown on the front line. Why don't those guys get why don't those guys get praise on, you know, actually helping their community? Whereas LeBron, you know, he's, fortunately for him, you know, he's been placed and he's been put, you know, in that certain in crowd, that certain group in society, that elite group that very few people tap into, to where, yeah, he can influence a lot of people, but at the end of the day, they're trying to make him out to be a messiah, you
Mm,
know. They're trying to make him out to be as if he's this perfect thing, you know. But now we live in different times. Obviously there's a lot of injustices that are going around, but when they try to compare him to Muhammad Ali, that's completely different. Muhammad Ali and Bill Russell, in those times, they had to do what they had to do in order to open the doors for players like LeBron. So I don't know why these other NBA players they don't get praised like him for speaking out. And it just goes to show you that the media's brainwashing is very strong. And if you understand the power dynamics, particularly this is what the NBA knew, because the NBA knew, they saw how pushing one player like Michael Jordan, how one player just made the NBA global. They thought that they could duplicate that with LeBron, with obviously the $90 million Nike deal. But those type of players are rare. You don't get an MJ or Kobe. Those are once in a lifetime players. And the media knows that, particularly when it comes, to you, he knows is that there's always that one player. When you have that one person that has that aura about them, that has that strong enough personality, it usually brings other people to them. The NBA knows that they make a lot of money during dynasties, or pushing that one player, that face of the league. Whereas it's more than the NBA brand. We as people are attracted to that one individual who has that aura about them. So they tried to duplicate that with LeBron, and it has been a failed project, man. Like, it has been a failed project, man. Like, since 2003, like, they try to make him say he was a chosen one. That's a failed project. It's just, you could just tell that they've made a lot of returns on the investment, but the investment itself has been so poor. It's like a toxic acid. It's like it's it's crazy. So I know I went off topic here, but the global pandemic, what that shows is that no matter what happens, when you're wealthy, like the billionaires are in the NBA, you're able to have access to a lot of powerful people, whether even if there's a outbreak that's going on. So it goes to show you that there's a lot of things that need to be fixed in this world when it comes to society. And I think we as people, we need to really understand power dynamics. We need to put ourselves in position to where if people are allowed to get away with things like this, it needs to pertain to us as well. This is why we need to start practicing group economics, to weather the storm during times like these. We need to start learning other nuances, if another coronavirus breaks out, to where we can put ourselves at an advantage to where it doesn't affect us economically, because now in society today, before it was physical slavery, now it's not just economic slavery, but it's technological slavery. Technological slavery is worse, man, because what's happening is technology is passing our time. It's passing our brain. We're not using technology for what it needs to be useful. We're using it to pass time. And technological slavery is very dangerous. Because the media is able to put visual effects, because they know that the visual effect, like the colors and them putting certain images and video effects together, how powerful that can be on the brain. So definitely, I went on off topic, but I think this relates to, when it comes to power dynamics, when it comes to owners having the luxury to, get in touch with powerful people, and to just to able, they're able to, weather the storm with this coronavirus, and it doesn't affect them economically. So that's my take.
All right, Richie Rich, man.
Yeah, I mean, you see it, the coronavirus is still here, man, and it's there's no cure yet. The cases continue to rise, every day. A lot of some of these states, but it's about the almighty dollar, man. They were just not gonna leave all that money on the table, especially uh, when you see these sports leagues overseas. I've been observing these sports leagues like the Korean baseball league. all these soccer leagues who've begun play, in Europe, and from what we know, it was pretty bad in Europe. That coronavirus, man, it was like wild, spreading like wildfire out there. But these soccer leagues are playing right now. Bundesliga, if you guys are familiar with them, La Liga, Austria, Croatia, all these soccer leagues are starting back up, and they're playing. They're playing without fans in the stadium, and it's working out for them. So when I saw that, I was like, man, basketball is gonna come back because Silver was paying attention to that too. Silver was the first one down here in America to shut down his league, but I knew he wasn't gonna be the first one to open his league back up because he was gonna observe. Because in the NBA, they have to set a standard, and they got to make sure they got to always protect their image. So Stern was going to make sure he paid attention to what these other teams were doing. Then they were going to come back, and then they were going to create all these different scenarios. You see what he's saying? Like if you have a player that catches the coronavirus in this bubble, they're going to have to continue to keep playing, even if it's your star player. They're going to have to continue to keep playing because now it's all about the money. It's all about the money. They signed contracts with TV stations, TV deals, and if they don't fulfill those TV deals, those deals are going to have to be restructured. So they have to fulfill, their end of the bargain because those networks like ESPN have given them money to be able to televise their games, and they have to find a way to play these games, and that's why they're coming back. Especially with other sports leagues resuming play. Also, even in the States, you see UFC, man. They only stopped for a minor time because I believe somebody got caught the virus, one of the fighters, and then they had to spend like 2 weeks where they didn't have any fights. But you see this guy Dana, he's still out here, man, making these fights happen, man. And now you see there's another sport that just started back up in America, or that's about to start. Well, now you hear of the NHL coming back. They're gonna have a playoff format. They already set it up. MLB players, you gotta give it to those guys, man. These guys are trying to negotiate for their full salaries. They're not playing around. They're not gonna start their league up until they get their full salaries. They're trying to negotiate with the commissioner and the guys who are at the head of running the MLB. But NBA players are going to have to take pay cuts regardless because they haven't played. They've lowered the amount of games that they're playing, so they're not going to get a portion out of that TV deal. But if they want to get a major portion out of it, they gotta finish these games. And that's what it's about. It's about the money at the end of the day. Even with this virus still out there, money is king, man. That's what runs this world. And, it's sad, but that's the truth. Money runs this world. Money is revered as, a lot to most people in society. So this is what it's on. Silver's not going to leave that money on the table. And they're gonna resume play. We just have to hope that nothing happens to these guys. That they could play in this bubble, and they can finish it out with everyone healthy. You even hearing of head coaches that are old in age, they're not gonna be at the bubble site. They were saying Greg Popovich, Mike D'Antoni, all the oldest coaches in the league, Alvin Gentry. These guys are gonna have to possibly not be in this bubble. That's what you have to worry about in these type of scenarios with these pandemics. You gotta try to save all the elderly people because this virus is gonna affect those type of people. But they're gonna resume play with whoever they have. So we'll just see how this goes. Hopefully, it goes well because I was already in my mind when we were talking about this topic months months down in, we didn't know if the league was gonna happen. But I was in my head, I was like, man, if these other sports leagues start back up, the NBA is gonna come back because it's all about money, man. At the end of the day, if these guys don't play those games, things are gonna be changed dramatically. So they gotta play these games. They have to.
Okay, here's the thing, man. Here's the issue. If you guys remember, there was an article that was back out on May 15th where it talked about NBA players already paid in full have IOU to be taken out of their next year's salary. This is the stuff that I'm talking about. This has already happened. Now, we know 6 out of the 10 players that got their money, right? LeBron James, Stephen Curry, John Wall, Blake Griffin, Kevin Durant, and Paul George, they were paid in full, and they will not see a decrease until next year. So here's my thing. If NBA players are already paid in full, why are you having an NBA season? And I understand this mentality that, oh, well, what about the bottom feeder players? These guys are millionaires, man. I can't feel sorry for people that have a misappropriation or mismanagement of funds. Let me say it again. People that have a misappropriation or mismanagement of funds. If you're mismanaging your funds and you making it rain on TNA instead of throwing the money into where it needs to go and investing it the right way, I'm not going to feel sorry for that. Can't feel sorry for NBA players complaining about money. I'm going to feel sorry for the lamest person, everyday person that is complaining about money because we know they live in paycheck to paycheck. The NBA players shouldn't be living paycheck to paycheck. Bottom line is, if you're making that level of money, you should be able to have a windfall so that when times like this happen, moments like this happen, you can be able to thrive in your windfall. Here's the problem that I have. We don't have a cure for this virus. We don't. And there's going to be a second wave. Y'all need to wake up and smell the coffee. If y'all haven't heard it here, y'all heard it here first from He Knows the Sport. There's going to be a second wave of this stuff. This stuff is going to increase because there's no cure. And you have all these sports opening up, all of these states opening up, everything opening up, but no one is telling the back of their minds that how come they haven't found an antidote for people to get cured on an exponential rate. We know that there have been people that have come back on the positive side of the virus. We know those numbers are there, but we also know that there are over 105,000 people that have cases of this stuff that have died in the United States. 6 million overall. But we're acting like this didn't even happen. We know the George Floyd situation has gotten everybody's immediate attention, but this is still here. And you know how you can tell it's prevalent? Protesting and the rioting, people have masks on. Why do they have masks on? So we can't act like these things are not here. And we have a whole bunch of NBA players, and that's why I agree with Glacier John's earlier point when he said they should do a protest to find out which NBA players are going to play and which NBA players are not going to play. And I guarantee you, an overwhelming or over-resounding number of them are going to say, hell no, we don't want to play. Because to them, the season was a foregone conclusion. They thought it was going to be a wash. I don't understand because these quote-unquote billionaires that already have so much money want to be extra greedy and put people's life on the line. This just tells you that the players that are playing on the court are what we would call rich slaves. They treat them as such. Based on what Richy Rich said, based on what Jacob Lonewolf said, that's my interpretation of it. You are slaves. We need you to get out there and we need to recoup our investment off of your hard work. Because what would be the other reason? What would be the reason for them to play? The NBA already put a law in place that says that you will owe us back in the starting of the next season where you're going to get 25% deducted. But this was out of the 2020-2021 season because everybody got paid in full. So if we already know all of this got ironed out and taken care of, could make the season a wash and start anew. And everybody get their little 25% taken out because it was agreed between the league and the players via the NBA Players Association and the NBA owners. It was already agreed. This was already written in stone. They already figured out a plan for this. So why continue on? Why put the health and the riskiness of your players on the line? We heard some of the top players, Kevin Durant, some of these top players caught this stuff. Why subjugate your players to this stuff, man? This is what I don't understand. All to benefit the mighty dollar, all to benefit, you know what I'm saying, and off the slave of the back of these players. This is what I don't get. Like, this season should be a complete wash. We should be starting anew in the fall. And it's sad, but that's the truth. And this is the last point that I want to make. And then the last topic, I probably won't say nothing because this will probably be my last thing that I want to say. Let me get y'all minds warped into the right direction. LeBron James, and I'm going to say something here. Everybody's going to be like, well, damn, this dude, he just don't stop. Well, I can't help it. I just can't deal with fakery and I can't deal with tomfoolery in front of my eyes. LeBron James is not social aware like you guys think that he is. Don't let them write that nonsense in y'all brains, man. LeBron was a puppet. LeBron was PC by the NBA for a very long time. He got on this quote-unquote social awareness nonsense because it became something that is open and sexy and cute these days. Everybody could do it. Because when Bill Russell and when Kareem Abdul-Jabbar did it at a time where it was not sexy and cute, they got riled for it. I really want you guys to open up your history books and see how LeBron is not what you guys think that he is, man. Everything revolves around him. This guy's a class A narcissist. And if he's doing something, it's for his benefit so that you guys can talk good about him and say, well, look at LeBron, man. Look at LeBron. He's socially aware. That's pure 28th law of powerisms at its truest and its most properest levels, man. Y'all got to be able to see through this shit. Thank you, Glacier Don. I'm glad you opening up those eyes, though. You know me. I'm always going to open people's eyes. I'll always tell you what you want to hear, but I'm going to tell you what you need to hear. Don't fall for the dupery that's associated with LeBron James, man. The socially aware stuff, because it's cute now, everybody's doing it. It's conversation. That's lip service. Lip service don't get you nowhere. It's okay to put something on Twitter. Oh, we're not going to shut up. Shut up and dribble. How's that benefiting you? How's it benefiting your community because he tweeted something or he said a comment? Think about that, folks. Think about the psychology behind that. Think about how it affects your community and it impacts you guys. Is it helping you guys out? No. What would help you guys out is group economics. These celebrities know that. When did I ever allow my brain to tell me that a celebrity is when they do something from a socially aware mindset, it's something that I can get behind. It's something that I can respect. I don't respect that because all these celebrities are always about their bottom line. They're always about their agendas. And when you guys realize that, you guys will understand that it's a bunch of cockamamie nonsense. And even some of the best of us fall for this bullshit. Because it doesn't help us. It doesn't impact us. Jacob Lonewolf, I'm going to open up your eyes. LeBron is not socially aware, man. He's a class A narcissist. And he understands how to manipulate the 27th law of power. This is one of the elements of manipulation. Appeal to a people's emotion. What is people's emotion right now? Vulnerability. The fact that, you know what I'm saying, I can't breathe. So let me say things in line with them. Let me mimic their movements. Because if I mimic their movements and I appeal to their emotion, then guess what? I will gain them. Y'all got to wake up and see this shit for what it is, man. I can't be the only motherfucker that's Yoda out here in these streets. Y'all got to see this stuff for what it is. LeBron's not what you guys think that he is, because if he was what you guys said that he was, he would already have been a martyr. They would already have lynched his ass. This is real talk. I'm telling you guys real shit. They would have already lynched him. Trust and understand that him talking the way he's talking is because the powers that be allow for him to talk like that because they're okay with that. Because they know all his shit is just nothing but lip service. It ain't going to do nothing. What's going to change things is if LeBron was coming out here, getting on the mic and saying, hey, black people, we need to practice group economics. Fuck all of these other people. If he was saying some real shit like that, some revolutionary shit like that, yeah, they would have martyred him. He would have became the next Malcolm X. Now that would have been some real shit right there. So y'all need to wake up and smell the coffee. I don't get, to me, protests, and I don't mean to be rude or disrespectful, but protests don't do nothing, man. It's symbolism. And that's what we get caught up in. We get caught up in symbolism. Yeah, we walked. Yeah, we went out there and we showcased that we fought for our cause. But then guess what? After you do that, what ends up happening? You back to square one again. The same bullshit so that you can go out there and protest again. You go out there and riot again. If we keep doing the same thing over and over again, that's the definition of insanity. The definition of insanity, last time I checked, is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a fucking different result. Why is there not a different result? Because it doesn't fucking work. All this "we shall overcome" bullshit, it doesn't work. We're going to have to become revolutionaries. We're going to have to become war type of people, fight for our own, and trust each other and have faith and believe in our own and invest in our own. That's power right there. You think they would let LeBron talk like that? Please. He wouldn't be the face of the NBA if he was talking like that, because that's how Kareem Abdul talked. That's why they don't even consider himself anywhere near the GOAT talk. That's how Bill Russell talked. That's why they only put his name on the NBA Finals. They don't even talk about him, because that's the kind of language that these guys were speaking. So when we sit here and say that LeBron is socially aware, might want to do a little bit more homework on that and realize that because it's a sexy thing to do and everybody's allowed to do it, then that's why it's cool. Because true revolutionaries do what Muhammad Ali did. I ain't going to fight for your fucking war. That's some revolutionary shit. That's some shit that'll get you in jail, get you put 6 feet under. You see, there's levels to this stuff, man. We got to see the foolery and the fakery for what it is and what's authentic here, man. This is why I'm needed out here in these streets, man, because I'm always going to enlighten you guys and keep you guys on a straight and narrow. Y'all need this straight and narrow. Don't get caught up in the nonsense. Don't get caught up in the bullshit. Don't get caught up in the foolery. LeBron's not what you guys think that he is, man. I don't know why I'm the only one that sees this guy truly for what he is. Everything about this dude is fake. It's phony, man. I smell phoniness off this dude. And I don't know why. I just smell it. Matter of fact, I could utter it, dog. But what he did this for his boys and all of that, that's his boys. Because true people that are doing true change would do it for their people, and they would do it on a level to where it would impact them. This is something that a Malcolm X did. This is why Malcolm X died at such an early and tender age. Do you know that Malcolm X was borderline anorexic for most of his adult years? Do you know why? Because he had the weight and the burden and the worrisome of his own people. See, we can't compare that revolutionary mindset, that real shit, to this little bullshit. They don't come together. So when we're talking about social awareness and we're talking about this, y'all need to understand there's a standard. Just like there's a standard on a basketball court and the standard is the MJ and Kobe game, there's a standard to this shit, man. And we can't just think because people are just going out there. When you see a celebrity go out there like Stephen Curry, Aisha Curry, all these people, when they go out there, they doing that so the cameras could be on them so you guys could say they walked. They know exactly what the fuck they doing, man. It's not for your benefit. Y'all need to wake up and see this shit. You really think they're doing this because they care? The fuck out of here with that, man. And that's the problem with us as people. We get caught up in this symbolism bullshit, man. And it fucks our brains up. Even the best of us get caught up because we're like, man, this person, a celebrity, did this. But really, what did they do? Because true people that do revolutionary stuff, true people that do stuff that are on a civil rights leadership level, they die for it, man. You think a LeBron James is willing to die for the cause of black people? Don't make me laugh, man. Don't make me laugh, y'all. Y'all need to wake up. This is why I don't trust celebrities and I don't trust them to be the spokesperson for things like this. I trust people that are really in the trenches, people that are really willing to die for the cause. Because you got to be willing to give your life up if you're going to get into a line of work in that area. You literally have to be willing to sacrifice your life and to know that you possibly may very well die. Because the stuff that you're going to be saying is going to be coming across as such vitriol and I'm talking about real cold-hearted, unadulterated, cutthroat, truth-telling fashion to a level to where it cuts deep, man. It cuts people in their soul and their spirit. divides that thing asunder, man. Even going into the joints and the marrow. You doing stuff on a biblical level when you're a real revolutionary. Don't compare that. Please, y'all, listen to me. Don't compare that special, rarefied thing that somebody like a Malcolm X, a true visionary, a true revolutionary, to something to say that LeBron is socially aware. That terminology shouldn't even come out your mouth when it comes to LeBron. Please don't do that. This is why I tell people y'all need to adopt the 4-minute and 59-second rule. Jacob Lonewolf is learning that rule. But somewhere along the line, Jacob Lonewolf listening more than 5 minutes with that LeBron stuff. Don't worry, brother. I'm here to enlighten and always keep everybody in line. Keep you on your dean. That's what I'm all about. Get you on your purpose and get you on your dean and keep you and stay you on your damn dean. And I'm staying you on your dean, brother. Don't fall for this nonsense. Y'all got to see this stuff for what it is. You can't take something to that special level, that special degree, and try to bring it down to a bullshit level. We ain't going to do that over here. You see, I let y'all talk. I let y'all say everything you had to say because I had to come back. And when I don't hear the truth, I always have to come back and counter. That's who I am at my core. I got to come back and counter the lies and the errors with truths. We can't take a high level of that and what that stands for and denigrate it. We got some new people out here that's doing that. You know what I'm saying? Like the African diaspora. You know, Dr. Mumby. These are the people y'all need to be talking about. You know what I'm saying? Prince Dinas Amir. These are the people y'all need to be talking about here, man. Let me talk about no damn LeBron James. What the hell is he doing for the damn cause? These are the real people that's out here doing stuff for the cause and however they can do it. That's the real stuff. Michael Jordan. I'm the biggest Michael Jordan fan, but I know Michael Jordan's doing this shit for money and get a tax write-off. I'll be the first one to tell you that shit because I can see right through the bullshit. And y'all need to start seeing right through the bullshit as well, too. Seriously, real talk. Don't ever let this whole celebrity thing get into your brain to make you think that celebrities are really doing this. Please, take celebrity shit with a grain of salt. You know what you treat celebrities on? You know what you treat them for? And this is what real people treat celebrities for. You treat them for fucking entertainment. That's what you treat them for. And I know that sounds disrespectful or whatever, but that's what you are. You're a celebrity. Do you understand what the terminology celebrity means? It means that you're there to entertain me. Seriously, real talk. And I'm not sitting here saying it from a shut up and dribble standpoint. I would never say it from that standpoint. This is not no Laura Ingraham nonsense here. We're not even going to talk about it from that standpoint. We're talking about celebrity. You got to understand the vernacular behind that. They do this so that they can continue to gain fame and attention. What's the definition of celebrity? It's a reference to fame and wide public recognition of an individual or group or occasionally a particular animal as a direct result of what? Attention. Think about the word attention. Celebrities are attention whores. Everything they do is for attention. And if you understand that, you know that. Why do you think every time a celebrity do something, they promote a book, they promote this, it's for attention, man. They don't do shit for free. And they do it off of your back. So please, celebrity and socially aware and being socially aware or social awareness, they don't go hand in hand. It's like oil and water. It's like apples and oranges. The shit just don't mix. You want your civil rights, you want your socially aware, you want your socially conscious, deal with people that deal on the realm of that 100% 24/7. They may not even be perfect at it, but deal with those that are subject matter experts at it. So that's all I'm gonna say with that. Because bottom line is at the end of it and at the coast of it and at everything, the bottom line is, thank you for the definition, Jacob Lonewolf. We don't need symbolism to define who we are. We need to define ourselves amongst ourselves and in ourselves and be ingratiated within ourselves, man. That's how we define ourselves. If we're waiting on celebrities to push the agenda, how many times celebrities have been doing this? And then once they get their agenda pushed, they jump out of the vehicle. When they want you to vote, they all come out. Yeah, vote, 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 vote for this person, and then they disappear because there was an agenda associated behind that, folks. Can't be letting these people steer and direct the ship, because when they've done this in the past, what has happened? The same bullshit. Excuse me. Failure. Excuse me. The definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. But when the real people have done it and have affected something, they die for their cause. So let's not take something to that pristine level, to that special level, and bring it down to a low bullshit level. It just don't add up. And anyone that sits there and allows themselves to be ingratiated into that mindset and think like that, I really want you guys to do some serious critical thinking and really go back to understanding. Matter of fact, watch some of these Malcolm X interviews. And if you do that, because they're on YouTube, you will realize that shit, I even fell for the dupery myself too. And I need to get myself back in line and recheck to what is real and what is artificial that's giving a similitude of what's real. Remember, sheep, wolves that are in sheep's clothing. That's what a bunch of these celebrities are. Because at the end of the day, they for themselves, they've always been about themselves. They self-absorbed. These motherfuckers are narcissists to the T. They don't care about you. And you best believe if it comes back to impact them, they're going to apologize. Look at Drew Brees. He said something, but then when it affect the bottom line, oh, I apologize. I apologize. I'm sorry. You think he said he's sorry because y'all came after him and y'all gave him back? No. It was because the backlash is going to affect the pockets because somebody up top called his ass and said, yo, you better say something to apologize. But if that wasn't going to be the case, he was never going to apologize. That's just the way to look at it. Now people say, well, LeBron, he was the one behind that. He was the one that called out Drew Brees. Yeah, that's easy to do something like that because Drew Brees is a white guy, right? And he's a black celebrity, and this is famous, and this is something that's sexy now. So him doing something like that, yeah, it will come across like he's helping the cause. But really, how did it affect your community? How did it help you? How did it help your community out that he called out Drew Brees? I want y'all to think about this shit for real. Really think about this. Now, there are some real celebrities out there, some real people doing some real stuff. Leonard brought up a good name that Lewis brought up earlier, Jaylen Brown. Then nobody talk about him. You see, they don't talk about the bottom feeders. They want to talk about these people out here that's really doing something. It's ridiculous, man. And Richy Rich said that I'm going in and I had to address it. Yeah, I had to. You know why? I had to channel Tom Ross. I needed to channel the Tom Ross energy because I know that if I wasn't the one to say this shit, Tom Ross would probably be the one to counter all of this shit because I know that's his realm. Y'all go to his channel, y'all know that's his full-time realm to deal with his people and his people's movement and things of that nature. But I had to channel him a little bit because I heard some things and I saw some things that I didn't like. And I have to remind you guys that there's realness behind this stuff. And y'all got to see the realness and decipher the realness from the fakeness, man. And a lot of times fakeness can be so slick and it can be so smooth and it can be so smooth operating that it makes you think it's realness, but really it's not. LeBron don't stand for nothing but himself. And the quicker you guys realize this stuff, the quicker you guys won't even take him serious when it comes to any of this stuff. Because I don't take him serious for nothing. I know people like, that's extreme, that's a hard line. This guy hasn't shown me nothing to where I can take him serious for any damn thing. Because I know that he's about himself. And that's just real talk. And the quicker people start realizing that, the quicker people are going to be like, oh, okay. Yeah, this guy is absorbed. This ain't just no basketball. I've seen supposed friends that were his NBA friends that was supposedly banana boat folks that he basically left out there in the river to go and try to figure out how to get a life raft to swim. He did this to Melo. Did that shit to Wade. Left his ass hanging with the Miami Heat. Come on, man. Y'all ain't hearing me, dog. Y'all can't trust a motherfucker like that to be standing for y'all cause. If this is somebody that's close to him like that he's known for years, that has got him out of the trouble of not winning a title, that's something that's very monumental in somebody's life. Got him out of trouble out of that and left him in the life raft hanging and said, well, we gonna find a way to get your ass traded off the Cleveland Cavaliers. Come on. What do you think? How much more you think he's going to screw? This guy got in front of a mic in 2011 and told y'all, Richy Rich, what did he tell them in 2011? What did he tell the regular folks?
Told them that you got to go back to your mediocre lives. That's what he told them. People that was tuning in, watching those finals.
Y'all got to go back to y'all miserable lives, and y'all got to go back to y'all mediocrity while me and my family, we're going to enjoy. Was he talking about a specific race, or was he addressing everybody in general?
Talking to everybody in general.
And y'all sitting here saying that he's socially aware? Oh, fuck out of here with that shit. Y'all gotta wake up and smell the coffee, man. LeBron is not nobody's damn interest. And the quicker you guys see this, the better you're gonna be off. Why y'all think he knows the sport needed out here in these streets? So that I keep y'all motherfuckers in line, in being, and on your damn purpose. Because I'm telling you guys, man, y'all gotta start tapping into your higher planes of thinking and your higher planes of modes of seeing stuff all the time. You can't ever be vulnerable. You can't ever keep the foot off the gas pedal. You can't ever slack off, because the second you slack off is the second that NLP is gonna come right up in there. And once that NLP come right up in there, that's it. A lot of distortion in the subconscious mind, and next thing you know, everything that you thought you were standing on that was good, it turns to rubbish. It's that fast. Y'all don't understand how powerful NLP is out here in these streets. If y'all did, y'all be trying to stay on y'all dean every second. Because y'all don't understand, the people that govern NLP, they're on this stuff every microsecond. Because they're looking for that edge on how to bamboozle you, how to beguile you, how to betwixt you. You guys don't understand how extreme this thing is, man. If you guys did, you'd be running yourself to be on your purpose and on your deed all the damn time so that you don't fall for the nonsense. Because trust and believe, I ain't no different than any one of you guys. I could easily be subjugated and fall for this nonsense too. But the reason why I don't is because I'm always reading, always researching, always figuring stuff out, always adopting principles to go against the grain. I'm not a conventional thinker. I don't go by status quo. I don't go by things that sound cool, I've never been wired that way. I'm always trying to, okay, what is the intention behind this? What is the real agenda behind it? I'm always asking questions, and y'all need to start being like it. Y'all need to start asking these damn questions, because once you start asking these questions, you're gonna then get answers, because then it's gonna force you to research. It's gonna force you to critically think. It's gonna force you to analyze. And once you start doing that, you're gonna be like, oh, that's what's behind this. That's what's behind that. That's what's going on with this. That's what's going on with that. Like, y'all gonna start thinking, y'all gonna start seeing that things are not adding up the way it should. Because everything's not what it seems, man. This is why I always tell you guys the terminology, peel the layers of the onion. Where do you think that came from? That means you guys are gonna have to go deep, man, in every thought. Even if it's something that seems simplistic on the surface, you gotta go deep. Because if you don't go deep, you ain't never gonna get to the root of the cause. Seriously, I want y'all to leave this live and ask yourselves, why is LeBron so gun-ho about this whole getting behind this and getting behind that and getting behind this and getting behind that? And how is what he's doing helping me as an individual? Is what he's doing, is it helping my community out? Is it fattening my pockets? Is it helping me to get to a higher plane? When you start asking yourself these questions, you start coming to the answer, no, 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 no. Then you're going to be like, oh, shoot. If the answers are no, 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 then there's got to be some tomfoolery and fakery going on here. You see what I'm saying? Like, y'all got to start thinking, man. This is why y'all come and listen to this channel, right? This is why y'all come check the platform out. It's not because I'm saying stuff down because I'm saying it, because I keep tapping into you guys' higher plane of thinking, because I'm a higher plane thinking individual. And I want you guys to always be thinking on your higher plane. Because if you're not focusing on your higher plane thought process, then you can be duped, you can be warped. And that's what this world is filled with. This is what the media folks do. They are the masters of this stuff. I done told you guys, they playing chess on you guys all the time. And you know the only way you're going to counter the chess is with super chess moves. That means arming yourself up with researching, getting smarter, getting more knowledgeable, tapping. People don't read books no more, man. People are a bunch of dodo heads walking around here. They just go by what they heard from this person or heard from that person, and then they form their thoughts. You don't think the media know this? That's why they NLP your ass 24/7. They doing this shit 24/7. They NLPing you in your sleep. You know how many people pick up a phone, and when they pick up the phone, they send you a message in your email. They send you stuff on your website because they know what you like. They know your interests. They know everything. All of this is NLP. When they see that you keep tapping on something, oh, they like this product, so I'm going to send this thing in abundance, but I'm going to send it in such nifty ways that's going to tap into that subconscious mind, so that guess what you end up doing? Click, 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 you buy. Click, 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 you want. Click, 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 click. I'm telling y'all, man, y'all don't understand how they operate out here, man. They got y'all. And in order for them to not get you guys have to untap your mind away. That's why it's good sometimes to take your phone and put it down for a while and disengage from technology. That's why when you guys see He Knows the Sport gets away from the grind and He Knows the Sport goes out, I need my moment of solitary, man, to get away from all this foolery. I need my moment to get away from all of this noise. And when I say foolery, I'm not saying it's foolery because I love you guys. I love what you guys bring to the table. I'm just saying I need to get away. I need to get out of my own head. That means I need to go to a place to where I learn. Anybody that knows me knows I'm the ultimate loner. You see Jacob Lonewolf, he's lone wolf. I'm the ultimate loner and rebel. Richard knows that. Yeah, I always had this terminology where I say I go into hiatus. I need my solitary. Anyone that has an alpha or alpha mindset, they know what I'm talking about. You love to be, you love your own presence. You love to be around yourself. You ain't this person that you need to be around people. You know why? Because that's how you learn. That's how you grow. And in that moment, I need to step away, get away from YouTube, get away from all this other stuff. And I need to go to a place to where I need to figure some things out. I need to do some critical thinking. I need to come back better. And as you guys see, every time I step away, I come back. I always come back better. You know why? Because I took the time out to impart myself with knowledge, research, things of that nature, and become stronger. And this is what I'm trying to tell you guys. You guys need to start tapping into this stuff. Because if you don't start doing this, you're going to be duped. The best of us, you're going to get duped. And I see they putting a number on you guys with this LeBron stuff. That's dupery right there. That's what Jacob Lonewolf just talked about earlier. Dupery. Brain full of mushing, brainwashing, beguiling, betwixing. That's what all of that stuff is all about, folks. It's to mess you guys up. Thank you, Winetta. That's what my book is for, to get away from the BS. Thank you. Y'all gotta get to this place where y'all have to tap into your higher plane of thinking. See, I didn't even know it was gonna go here. But it was some of the stuff that I seen in the comment section that just, it tapped something in my brain to where I had to say this. I don't know if it's the preacher in me or the teacher in me. I had to say it because I just had to say it. You guys got to tap into your higher plane of thinking, man. Thank you, Onetta. Y'all got to tap into your higher plane of thinking. That's how you're going to see stuff for what it is. Don't fall for what you see in front of you. Because trust and believe, everything that you see that's in front of you is not what it appears. The grass is not green on the other side, man. There's a reason why that terminology exists for what it is. Because they fucking ain't. And if you're in your right frame of mind and your right thought process and your right frame of thinking, you could see all of these things for what it is. And I wasn't here to counter you, Jacob Lonewolf, on what you said about LeBron or whatever. It's just, I know you're a young brother, you're sharp, and it's my job to keep you sharp. That's what iron sharpening iron is. I don't want nobody to think that my hardline approach on how I do stuff is to really go against people or to piss people off. No, it's to keep y'all on y'all deans, man. If I respect you and I see that you're sharpening away, I want to keep you sharper. I want you to keep coming back sharper. Because that's what you're supposed to do with a knife, right? You're supposed to keep sharpening it, because if you don't sharpen it, what happens to the knife? It gets dull. So don't let this media fool you guys, even on this micro level, because they will do that. They slick, man. I'm telling y'all, they slick. Thank you, Onetta. I don't even watch it anymore, too, because there's misery, man. The news is set up to depress you guys and to rile up your emotions, man. That's what it's set up for. And to make you see bad stuff all the time. They know how to play to these different emotions, man. Y'all guys have to understand this and tap into other stuff. And when you start doing this, you guys will be able to see that you can counter all of this nonsense because you are enlightening yourself. You're tapping into a higher plane of yourself. And because you're doing that, that makes you dangerous. That makes you very dangerous because knowledge is power. There's a reason why they say that. Knowledge is the most powerful thing you have on this planet than anything else. But in order for you to get the knowledge, you got to keep gaining knowledge. And the way that you keep gaining knowledge is there's an easy way to do that. It's called reading. Now you start reading, man, and reading the right stuff. And if y'all want to know, just hit up He Knows, man. I gave y'all the group economics book. I have a lot of references that I can give people for you to go out there and really read. That's going to impart knowledge in you guys. That's going to show you guys that this world is not what you think it is. And things are not the way you think it seems. And these people out here that they put in front of you guys, they're just nothing but puppets to push the agenda that the real people that really are running things want you to see. This is why I'm so against mainstream media. It's not even funny. I cut completely against the grain of them. I don't even give them 0.00001%. I give them 0% because I know even with that 0.0001%, they're throwing NLP even in that. And I can't trust it because that's an infiltration and an injection that they're trying to put in me. Don't get it twisted, y'all. Don't get it twisted. There's a certain level to this socially awareness stuff, and we have to keep the standard of it and don't compare cockamamie nonsense to it. There's levels to this stuff, dog. There's gears. There's people that have fought and died legitimately for socially aware or social awareness. They have become martyrs to the cause. And now, you know, the bullshit gets to get put in. Nah. There's gears to this shit, man. There's levels. The bullshit is where he's at. The bullshit and everything. The bullshit. That's the way. When I see LeBron, I see the bullshit, a walking the bullshit, the mile away. That's the what I see with him. Because it's got to be about him. It's going to be about him, and it's everything about him. That's it. And once you guys see LeBron for who he is, it's whatever. And I know some people like that. That's extreme. That's just the truth. You research the guy enough, you'll understand he's about him. He ain't about none of y'all. When somebody sits here and looks in the camera and tells you, oh, I was the GOAT when I won 73, you understand the level of self-absorption to let some lie like that come out your mouth? Don't get me started, man. To let a lie, a denigration of terminology to come out your mouth to say, I was the GOAT when I beat this 73. You should never trust nobody like that. You should never with your life. Never. They can lie dead in your face like that. Oh my gosh. Don't get me started. They'll lie about the most mundane things. That's all I'm trying to say. So let's close it out, man. Jacob Lonewolf, close us out, brother.
Yeah, you know, so that you jumped that one. You
You coming in? You doing like a recall?
Oh, you hear me?
All right, go ahead, Jacob.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but it's like it's doing like a. You hear it too, Richy?
It's kind of it's staticky.
Yeah, it's kind of staticky.
So make it better. Can you hear me?
Let me answer this question. Who else? Number 2 said, question for the panel. What makes a player the GOAT? I have a simple answer for that. Michael, Jeffrey, Jordan. That's it. There go your answer. Go ahead, Jacob Lonewolf. That's your simple answer. Michael, Jeffrey, Jordan.
Am I clear now?
Huh?
Am I clear?
Nah, you coming in staticky again. Remove yourself from the stream and then come back in.
Okay.
Richy Rich, close us out, man. Yeah, that was a really simple question. I just gave a simple answer. Let me say it again. Wholesale's 22. Question for the panel. What makes a player the GOAT? Michael, Jeffrey, Jordan. Go ahead, Richy Rich.
Wow, what a show, man. I mean, hey, we touched on some good topics.
Hold on. He has a
Oh,
follow up. Is it rings? Because Russell should be the GOAT. Okay, hold on, 22. Absolution. Bill Russell lost in the NBA Finals. 6 for 6. Never let that thing go to game 7. Absolution. That is GOAT material right there. There you go. Answer. Go ahead, Richy Rich.
yeah, great show. We touched on a lot of topics, man.
Mm-hmm.
Talked about the dupery, the NLM that you brought up. You know, about how it could get into our mindsets and have them believe, some of the nonsense that they're saying. You let us hit the center of our brains and start to believe. That stuff is you know very important, man. And we got to start looking at this stuff differently because the powers that be want us to think a certain way. So we have to open up our minds deeper, man, and we have to go out there and do research and be more engaged, man, and invest more time in ourselves so we don't fall for stuff like this. Uh, we also address stuff about the NBA coming back. We're excited about that. I'm excited. I'm kind of excited. I'm kind of not because the virus is still running rampant. You don't want to see any of these players get this thing, and then it affects their chances. And then their season is basically wasted. It's useless. They can't play. They can't win because they don't have a very important piece not playing. But we'll see how this goes. We also touched on the social issues going on. He knows. He went in on that, man. But it was needed because we have to address who the real writers are and who are the people that are just doing this for clout. That's the new terminology that's going on about doing things for clout. And just like how you said, a lot of these celebrities, they're not real writers. They're just doing this for clout. They'll put something on Twitter, they'll put something on Instagram, but are you really down for the cause? Are you really to sacrifice for the cause like that? Because if you're gonna sacrifice, man, you gotta be prepared to lose some things. It may not be your life, man, but it may be endorsements. It may be other things that pertain that are similar to that. Friendships. Are you down to because that's what those leaders were doing back in the past, like Malcolm X, even Martin Luther King. He even questioned sometimes when he was, as he was trying to fight for that cause. He questioned sometimes if he was doing, if he was leading, black people into a good situation. If you look on some of his excerpts, if they were to bring some about, he felt that he was leading his black people into a burning house. Sometimes the way that blacks were being received at the time, and he didn't know how it was going to pan out in the future. And we still see from this day, there's a lot of injustice going on, especially from the side of police who were supposed to be the people who were supposed to serve and protect. But we've seen throughout the years, man, that they've been getting away doing, very terrible things to people of color. So things have to change, and they have to. It's gonna start with us. Obviously, all the people of different races have to be there to support us, but we have to come together, man. We have to come together, and we have to invest in each other, and we have to, do our thing. So take that into account, man, and have a great night, you guys. Be safe, and I look forward to seeing you all on the next show.
Okay, who else 22? Let me just address this real quick. For a quick ethering and murking. Here's the thing. You got to understand this. You ask the question. This is the problem with people. They ask a question, but they already have their preconceived bias behind the question that they ask. You ask me a question, or you ask the panel question. We told you MJ. Even the chat is telling you MJ. but you saying Robert Horry. You already disqualified yourself. Do you realize you disqualified yourself and you basically showcased your basketball knowledge when you said Robert Horry got more championships than MJ? I'm glad Sean O said he's a bench player. Stop it. Because when we say championships, understand what we're talking about. We're talking about heavyweight lifting. That's what we're talking about here. Do I have to spell that out? I'm thinking you got some kind of sense to where you could understand that. Do we have to spell that out? I didn't know Robert Horry was part of the prerequisites of championship. You know what? I've heard this crap. My big brother used to try to use that trick against me when I was little. And I eat it and murked that then. So I was already prepared for that one then. So please stop that. Bill Russell's a basketball god. Bill Russell played in an era where there was only 12 teams. That's not impressive. And I like Bill Russell, but that ain't fucking impressive. 12 teams, they don't even play 7 games playoff series for 4 rounds. Do you really know that? If you go back and look at that time, they didn't have 4 rounds of basketball. Jordan played in an era where it was damn near close to fucking 30 teams. And he did absolution. Anyways, there's levels to this basketball knowledge, man. MJ never lost in the NBA Finals. It don't matter how many titles somebody win. In order for you to be greater than Michael Jordan, you got to go 7 for 7. Never let that thing go to 6. And win 7 NBA Finals, never lose in the NBA Finals. And Jordan had what?
6 Finals
5
MVPs.
MVPs, 5 regular season, you need to get 6. Jordan has 6 finals, you need to get 7. That if you want to beat MJ, that's the bar.
Jordan even got a
titles, you need to have 11.
A DMVP. You even got a defensive
what are we
player.
talking about here, man? When you think of GOAT, it's MJ. That's it. There's not even questioning that. Why do you think MJ popped his collar out? He know he's a fucking GOAT. And if I was in, I would say I think I'm just swelling with the ego as much as he is. Could you imagine if I was the GOAT? I'd probably be doing the same shit MJ do. I'd want y'all to tell me I'm the fucking GOAT every second.
Jordan don't even say he the GOAT. The people say it for him, man.
But MJ, even though he don't say it, he walk around with a swag.
He walk around with the swag.
And now I will walk around with that damn swag too. Because guess what? I have something nobody else has. I'm 100% NBA Finals average. That's absolution, man. It's not even argument. When people sit here and do this argument with basketball, it's because people got this imprint. You know, like an imprint a woman leave on you in a relationship, and you got to take it and you got to take a scar and scar that thing off, or a relationship where a guy leaves an imprint on you and you got to take that scar off. That's how it is with people in their generational mindset when it comes to basketball. They've been imprinted that Bill Russell is their guy, so they can't think of MJ. But there's an imprint and there's reality, man. The reality is MJ is the GOAT because he's 100% NBA Finals average. Find me another player that has 100% NBA Finals average in the NBA Finals, then we can talk. If you can't find that, higgity hush. Go ahead and close this out, Jacob Lonewolf.
Yeah. Am I clear now?
Oh, you are done. You clear to close this out, man.
Okay, sweet. Yeah, man. He knows, I appreciate, you checking me, about the LeBron shit, and, I'll admit it, I was holding back, because with me, I have so much information that I've been learning, but sometimes I'm too scared to spew it out because here's the thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you know what's happening, if you know the real people that question shit, we're always called the conspiracy theorists. Now, you have people like Alex Jones that are fear mongers. I'm not saying whatever he says is wrong. He says a lot of real shit, but I didn't want to get that title because I was going to expose more about LeBron, but you hit it on the nail. So I was like, okay, next time I learn my lesson. I'm not going to hold back. I'm going to say whatever I want. So say how the truth, So if you look at, I'm just going to talk just for a brief moment right here. Now, if you look up the word conspiracy theorist, right? That term was created in the 1960s by the government to make anyone seem who questioned the media or the mainstream or the people above the powers that be look crazy, So this is why a lot of times when people speak out, even when they're saying some real shit, we get turned down by these masses because they will say, oh, you're a conspiracy theorist. Oh, why are you always questioning shit? Why are you always thinking like that? You know, so sometimes it forces us to dumb down our, like, we have to dumb ourselves down in order to be on the same wavelength as the general public, and you should never do
I'm
that.
gonna tell you like this, Jacob. I ain't never dumbing down. I ain't never dumbing down. Screw that. Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, but you know, that's what I learned. You know, because I'm learning. I'm reading a lot of books. You know, because for all of you guys that don't know, you know, me and he knows. You know, we do keep in contact, and a lot of times, you know, if I have a problem with something, I will text him, hey, like, what books do you read? Like, and then he'll send out suggestions, and I read it. I'm like, wow, you know, this opened up my mind. You know, because with me, I'm trying to reach that place to where I'm trying to look at life and look at things from from a positive standpoint, to where there's always something I can take out from something. Like, there's always something I can learn, even if it's the most negative, drawn out thing. Because the thing with here's what I learned yesterday. Because I'm reading a book called Emotional Intelligence, right? And in that book, there's something in the brain, right? Because we have to realize that our emotions are powerful than our reasonability. Like, we are emotional creatures. You know, that's how biologically we are. And there's something called the brain. I think it's called I forgot it. So limpa, I think that's the emotional side. And then there's something called the neocortex. Like, that's our thing in the brain that helps us reason. But a lot of the times we're more emotional than we are rational. So I'm reading on that. So definitely, you know, that was something, you know, you needed to check me on that, you know, and you know, I'll promise myself next time, you know, I won't put myself into that place to where, you know, I'm saying the truth, but I say it in a very nice way to where it doesn't offend people. So that's what I'm trying to.
That's all. That's all I did it. That's all I did it for. I do it because I see the potential. If I see a potential in somebody, and I see that they kind of lollygag, I'm gonna check you right then and there. It's always good to check. You see, y'all understand? I'm always ready to check. Hey, Richy, tell you that's my lifeline. If I can get an opportunity to check you, I will do it, because guess what? When you get checked, you learn real quick, and you make sure you don't repeat it again. No? That's my mentality with it. But go ahead, finish out, man.
Yeah. So basically, so LeBron, he's not all that, you know, he's propped up to be, you know, and the powers that be, they've realized that they're always looking for a race war, because like I've said before, the best way to conquer people is to divide them, you know, because you know, I'm not American myself, but we do live in the world economy right now where everything's pretty much global. So, you know, it's not like this country versus that country. It's like a one world order, basically. And what I've realized is that like, even though you see all these cops killing, right, we have to question it. You know, there have been people that have said, you know, that a lot in the past that, you know, these are staged events or not. You know, I don't know that, but what I will say is that the biggest enemy of the people is the government. And if you know anything in society, the government needs to fear the people. We shouldn't fear the government, you know. And like, when you see all these protesters, you know, like, the government needs to fear the people, because we put those people in office to make changes, you know, and we can't allow these scumbag cops to just kill our brothers and sisters like that. So definitely, we need, like, things like that. That's what I'm saying. Like, we're the power. So when you see all these divisions, you know, that's going on in society, like on Facebook every single day, like, I'm seeing all these, like, race. It's always about race, you know, and I get it, but it's like these people, it's like a hashtag. Like, they don't do shit about it. Like, they're not on the front line. They don't try to look for other ways to empower their people economically. You know, we're always just putting articles, but okay, what does speaking out and putting articles really do? You know, and like with me, you know, I've been researching a lot about money and all of that, and you know, on my YouTube channel, I talk about this a lot, you know, and I haven't put a video in a while on my channel, because I'm just waiting, you know, just to get some things finalized. But definitely with me, I'm gonna start revealing a lot of things I've learned to you know, to help people out and to just help people look at things from a different perspective. Because even I was beguiled, you know, and a few years ago, you know, I started waking up, seeing how life is, and I started knowing that the biggest enemy for me is mainstream media, you know, and the television or the television is the worst thing that I watch, and I don't watch television anymore. And the thing that really helped me out was, if you've ever watched The Matrix, like that movie right there, that helps me out. Just watch The Matrix, man, because The Matrix is the document of our lives. It basically explains how to operate in this world, how to learn, how to just to go about life, and that movie right there, most people will say it's a sci-fi movie. Nah, like that's a document of our lives, so definitely, I know I went on a tangent, but yeah, man, I need to stay on my dean. And yeah, we covered a lot of things about the NBA and the sports media, and just mainstream media, and why the season shouldn't be on. And I can't wait for the next live stream. So yeah, I have a lot of things to say, but I don't want to waste anybody's time. So I'm happy, that he knows invited me to this live stream. I'm happy that I got to talk with Rich as well, and he provided great takes, that made me go and shout out to everyone in the chat, like Shano, Juanetta, who else? Who else? All you guys. And now it's like a family. Whenever I come here, it's like, damn, like it's like a community where I'm actually surrounded by free thinkers, because once I get off the side stream, I have to go back living in this world with a bunch of zombies around me. And so whenever I come on here, it's like a breath of fresh air. And it's like, damn, I'm actually able to give my full potential and what I actually think. Whereas, in the real world, you can't really do that. So, and I'm happy.
Well, that's good, man. I appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate everyone. Appreciate Richy Rich. Appreciate Jacob Lonewolf. Appreciate everyone that showed up and showed out. Thank you guys. You know what I'm saying? But as everything else, everything has to come to a close. Make sure y'all subscribe to Jacob Lonewolf's channel. It's called Finding Yourself in This Big World. You know what I'm saying? Make sure y'all subscribe to He Knows the Sports channel. I'm bringing you guys that heat and that fire. Make sure you guys check out, the community posts. Go to the website. Make sure you purchase, the merchandise. I'm posting merchandise each and every single day. Y'all check it out. I'm telling you guys, there's some good quality stuff. I would love for you guys to check out the website and make sure you buy one for you. Make sure you buy one for your girl, and make sure you buy for anybody that you care for. That's my mentality with it. Thank you guys for participating during this live stream. And just know that anytime and every time that you touch this platform, you're going to walk away stronger, smarter, wiser, and on your dean and on your purpose. Because that's what we're about over here, man. We're about making people operate in their maximum proficiencies mentally. Let me say it again. We're about making people operate in their maximum proficiencies mentally. I will always challenge people. Just like I want people to challenge me, I'm always challenge them. That's just the way that I roll. Thank you, Jacob Lonewolf, for your high asset and participation. Thank you, Richy Rich, for your high asset and your participation. Thank you for everyone in the chat. Make sure y'all donate to the platform, man. The Cash App is right up under there. Money sign, that heat and that fire. Y'all can also super chat. You know what I'm saying? I would appreciate any donation. Is all welcome. Thank you guys. Again, make sure you guys go to the HeKnowsTheSport.com website. Check out the website. There is a newsletter there. Subscribe to the website so that way you guys can get all and new items, events, everything that's happening, blogs, articles, you name it, everything. So make sure y'all go to the website. Make sure y'all subscribe. That's actually even better than you guys subscribing here, but I want y'all to subscribe both places. And I appreciate you guys. Y'all have a great Wednesday. Enjoy the rest of your day. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. Appreciate you guys. As always, this was a great live stream. Thank you once again, Jacob Lonewolf. Thank you once again, Richy Rich. Peace.
Peace.